Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely... Yeah, I know. He looks like a weirdo. I know. Don't worry. I'm definitely not mad, and you're watching me go from zero to hero and a prot warrior in the War Within Season 2. So the stream voted that I should make the character Horde, and then the stream voted that I should make the character a Pandaren, and here we are with a Pandaren warrior. I wasn't going to do that, but I felt like it would be fun if people got to vote on it on stream live, so this is what we ended up with. And then for the transmog choice, that is my responsibility. I take full accountability for the appearance of this character. I think that if I can't make it look good, I may as well make it look goofy. So here we are with our Spartan skirt warrior with anal beads around his neck or whatever the hell. I don't know, man. Also, finding a shield that fits this color is very difficult. Please forgive me for using something like this, but it's the best I can do. Anyway, and here we go with a +2 Theater of Pain. We have a priest and a DH, so we can skip this quite easily. We could either soothe or imprison or both. That way we could just avoid pulling this one ad. And then we go in and pull this ad, and then we leap our way into here, and we got to make sure we have our shield block available. We're going to kick the first guy immediately, and we're going to send out all of our offensive cooldowns here while maintaining shield block. It's important to maintain shield block. We're going to spell reflect some of that. And we have 5 stacks of or 10 stacks of Demolish. We're going to go ahead and use that while we still have our lovely, what is that thing called? Jesus. My brain's not cooperating. I'm overwhelmed. First M+, but we're blasting. We're doing great. What was I trying to say? I wouldn't be able to tell you. Okay, I think we're going to go this way, because otherwise we're going to run out of space. I don't even know what I was trying to say, but we should be a-okay here. I should be using shield block, and I need to reapply this thing. By this thing, I mean ignore pain. Oh my goodness, this is my first M+ run on this character, and I think it really shows. But, well, I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. We're just going to go ahead and use our Demolish yet again. That Demolish does so much damage. It's kind of stupid. I'm keeping up with the DPS here, and I think that is unreasonable amounts of damage. Now, Blizzard, if you're listening, please ignore the last thing I just said. This is perfectly reasonable and absolutely balanced, so go ahead and just keep it exactly the way it is. In fact, I think Colossus might need some more buffs, so just you know, hit your boy up, and we get a nice balanced thing going for warriors, I think. Anyway, sorry about the shoddy commentary. I'm just I was so focused on making sure I have my shield block up that I don't know, maybe I freaked out a little bit. Then we have to wait for the 2.5 hour long RP before we decide to head down this slimy path. I think it's slimy path, or is it mini boss first? No, I think we go slimy path first. Slimy. Farak says, "Congrats on getting the going down thing." Yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Now, a yoink back from the druid here would go hard, but we're just gonna take what we can get. We got to make sure we interrupt these sludge spreaders when they do the big cast, the one that makes big wigs go bonkers with it. We're gonna use our Demolish here. Hopefully that takes care of it. Why am I topping DPS? Blizzard. The Blizzard. Oh man. Well, I guess I am maybe yeah, I have a bit of a head start on some of these people in item level. I'm the second highest item level, Demon Hunter being the next one. Now, I didn't pull this patrol with me on that pull, even though they were close, because then there's 4 of these sludge spreaders to kick, and that can get a little overwhelming. But hey, you know, I don't think it's that much slower. I do have 10 stacks of Demolish available. I do not want to use them. I think we go this side. Yeah, this side, patrol. We have to be quick, though. We have to be quick. We moving. We might be pulling this, and we are pulling this. People kind of hesitated. You hesitate, you die. You hesitate, you die. We're going to go for the next group right away. Make sure that we apply our actual shield block. And there we go. Now we do have a Demolish ready to go. I'm going to send it on the big guy. I'm going to rally here, make sure that we're nice and safe. And now we're going to send it on the big guy here. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Big damage comes out. And we should be good. I'm kind of standing. I'm disoriented. Good luck, everybody. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the bonks. I wasn't paying attention to the frontal and reroll, I guess, of the gas bag, and I got disoriented by how bad it smelled. Okay, we should be okay here. Should be okay. Should being the operative word, but it looks clean. I don't know, man. +2s right now with people that actually bother to gear up, not that difficult. not that difficult at all. I think today's +6 is looking quite likely indeed. All right, well, we have just about everything ready, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to kick this thing, and then we have Demolish and the debuff and Avatar up. We're going to go ahead and do the big slams. Big slams get us up there in the damage department, but we do have a man down. Demon Hunter going down to Swirlies, most likely from dashing into them by accident. But that's okay, that happens. That's just something you deal with a Demon Hunter in a group. Sludge Spreader is over there. I'm going to try and angle this guy. I don't know, does he target other people? Or does he target the tank always? We're going to wait for a res here just to make sure we can go pull this into the boss. Is anyone resing? I think we have a mass res coming in, so the indicator isn't there. There we go. Rebuff our buddy here, and we're going to go into the boss. Big shield block, big shield charge. Get as much of that shield block available as possible. We're going to be in this fight for a little while. So we have Avatar. We're up at 10 stacks now, and we just use Demolish. Now these guys need to come out. I'm gonna that's the sound I started making there for a second. Okay, we managed to get through. I got a little overwhelmed there because I was so focused on doing the damage that I didn't think about, you know, not getting killed by the by the hooks. You don't want to mess with the hooker. The hooker is you don't mess with hookers. That's just, you don't want to do that. Especially not the best hooker in the entire dungeon. He is not to be taken lightly. He don't come cheap. God, I'm just making too many sex worker jokes. I'm so sorry. But it's just too easy of a joke to make on this boss. So my apologies if this offends you, but it's just some lighthearted humor. All right. Anyway, now that we're done talking about hookers, we're gonna continue focusing on the boss. So far, I feel like the boss is tickling me. I haven't noticed my health dip at all. That could be due to some wonderful healing being done by Farak here, who I do believe recognized me at the start of the dungeon. I'm gonna leap over here to this safe spot just to try and get aggro on these guys because I couldn't taunt from all that way over there. But I think we are good now. We're gonna send out one more demoralizing shout into a thunderous roar, and that should be this boss dead. We are at 10 stacks. I'm gonna step over here into the safe zone, wait for that to pass, for the swirly to pass. Hold on, and then one more demolish for the road. One more demolish for the road. Maybe, just maybe, I should focus on actually getting aggro and starting to, I'm turning into Seeker. I'm just looking for how much damage I can do. That's unreasonable. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be focusing on what a tank does. But this is basically a DPS disguised as a tank. So far they haven't noticed because I've been able to survive things. But that's what Colossus Warrior feels like. All right, next one should be the which one? Xav. Xav should be lusted. I'm going to ping here just so people know. We can lust Xav, and then we can lust last boss as well, depending on if we have the time. I'm going to wait until the Arbalest dies. I'm going to ping the Arbalest. Once the Arbalest is dead, that's when I'm going to go and pull more shit. Once the Arbalest kicks the bucket, we're going to help him out here and make him kick the bucket just a little bit quicker by using my Demolish on him. He got his dot out. Once the dot is healed up, we can go next if he's not already dead. Hopefully he doesn't get the dot out as well. I'm a little bit annoyed at myself because I keep ignoring certain WeakAuras that I have, which is bad. The WeakAuras I'm talking about is the shield block and the ignore pain WeakAura. I guess I'm ignoring ignore pain. Now here what would help is if people stacked up so that these are always stacked up and we have somewhere to go, because now the next ones are probably going to land on top of us and we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, we're going to leap through here. I'm going to type in stack, and then we have plenty of room to work with here. Now this guy won't he won't cause too many issues for us because he's not going to live very long. But yeah, see, if you stack, it's a lot easier. Now let me shield block and then demolish at 10 stacks should bring him to his knees. Interrupting roar is going to go out, doesn't really do anything for us. We can move on to the next group. Yeah, but if you have the one with the swirlies, just have your range stack with melee and then just move across the room. It's really not that difficult other than that. All right, get that ignore pain rolling. Once you get ignore pain up, you can have it up for a very long time without having to refresh it. I think it'll sooner time out than it will actually be fully absorbed, because you're just doing so much damage with this godforsaken spec or build that it just, you have no issues. You have no ignore pain issues. So that is absolutely wonderful. I am also running the thing which makes my shield, whatchamacalls, it makes my shield block lasts longer, that talent, and another talent where I whatchamacalls, oh my god, and another talent that adds a second of duration every time I shield slam. There we go, that one, that's the one I wanted to talk about. Jesus Christ. All right, focus on the captain, then switch to the arbalests. That is the game plan here. I recently was informed that this actually reduces the amount of damage that people are taking, or not people, but mobs are taking. So you want to kill the captain first and then immediately switch to all the other guys. I'm going to drop a big old stun here and send out some offensive cooldowns now that the big guy is dead, so our AoE actually does what it's supposed to do. I do have a demolish, which is going to absolutely demolish these mobs. The mob moved out of my demolish and I wasted the demolish. That is great sadness. That is... My sadness knows no bounds after this betrayal. The mob moved out of the demolish. I'm gonna go ahead and just stand in this because big punk. Moving out of it is a bit of a pain in the ass. Then this mob moves, then people have to figure out their positioning, stuff and thingy, and you know, all that nonsense. I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm a tank. I could just tank the whirlwind and call it a day. Now I can't block here, so shield block really isn't doing much for me. Unless shield block actually counteracts that because it's a buff, which might override the debuff. No, I'm definitely not blocking. He just bonked me for a lot. Or she? I don't know, sorry. But yeah, definitely a toughie if you're depending on that. But we can use other defensives. Right now we don't have to because it's a freaking +2 and I'm overgeared. But otherwise we may have to. Is this the way we go? This is the way we go. Yeet. And then here's Xav the Unfallen. All right, everyone is here. We're going to charge in, shield block, ignore pain as soon as I can. We're going to demoralizing shout. That way we can actually get some extra rage in. I can use my shield charge as well to prolong my shield block. And now we got to switch to the banner. I don't actually have enough mobs to revenge spam here for CDR on my thingy with the stuff, or rather for stacks on Colossus. So the way the Colossus stacks work is if you hit 3 mobs with your revenge, you get stacks of Colossus. If you use your shield slam, you get a stack on Colossus. Did I say 3 stacks on Colossus? You just get a stack of Colossus when you revenge 3 mobs. Sorry, I'm trying to play the game and commentate at the same time. We have a banner here. Not for long. We're going to use our demolish on it. There we go. It's been deleted from the game, along with the lovely damage that our DH was able to do here. Wonderful. This spec does too much damage. I should not be doing this much damage. This is kind of ridiculous. Oh man, and my stats aren't even that great for it, to be honest with you. I have too little haste. I feel like I have 13k haste. Okay, my haste situation has improved because I got a necklace with more haste and stuff, but for the most part my haste has been quite underwhelming. I'm going to use demoralizing thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What is that called? Is it shout? It's demoralizing shout. Okay, I'm not sure if it was roar or shout or what it was, but we have avatar. We have 10 stacks of Colossus. We're going to use it now after moving out of that, and then there's going to be another one, but I'm going to be done casting. Beautiful. Get that shield block back up because my WeakAuras is dancing in front of my face, and people are gonna turn angry at each other, but it'll fix itself right away. There we go. One more boss. Oh, we didn't bloodlust there. Okay, did we not have it ready? I wasn't sure. I thought we would just bloodlust there. Okay, it's this one. I'm gonna say keep moving so people know that that is what they're supposed to do. Okay, second charge, and I already used my leap, so I can't really get there, but we're gonna shield slam, or shield slam, not shield slam, thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Let me taunt that last guy, get out of line of sight, and people are good to go here. We're gonna use spell reflect. I think that's all of them stacked up. People should be line of sighting. I think there's some people standing in the hallway and getting beamed down. Now we're going to knock all of them up. We're going to pull this guy. I kind of forgot about him. Usually I'm here as a DPS or healer, so I kind of forgot that it's kind of my job to do that. We have everything up. We're going to use demolish on the big guy. That's a lot of damage. 10 stack demolish. It's juicy. I still had all the adds up, so I did all the AoE that was possible. So that was very, very nice. Okay, that could have been a lot cleaner if I had pulled it in a little bit sooner. Then everything would have kind of died together. But hey, here we are. I didn't grab this. My bad. Okay, this guy can grab it. You get to decide which way we go. Just plop it in. Okay, we're going left side so we don't have to deal with the shield guys. Or, well, yeah, they have a shield, an absorb shield, and also the spears. The spears are pretty annoying, pretty brutal. Do a heck ton of damage. You really have to either CC or interrupt them. Ideally, interrupt them because then they stay down for longer, right? So we have Demolish available. Should have used Demoralizing Shout for that, but we'll have it for the next pull, and we'll be A-okay. We keep going here. What is the next one? The next one is 2 shield guys and... oh no, 1 shield guy and the guardian. This is perfectly fine. 1 shield guy is manageable. I can keep him quiet all on my lonesome. We're going to send all of our cooldowns here because why not? Okay, nobody else is looking for kicks on him. I guess I'll CC. I thought that we would get more kicks out, but apparently not. Okay, we have the volley. We're gonna kick the volley. Soulstorm coming out. Healers handling it. Barak making good use of that holy priest. And I think we just slam here. Curse slam. He's gone. That's a good chunk of his health gone. Beautiful. I don't know how I'm doing this much damage. I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be using the orb. Somebody else is grabbing the orb. I'm going to right click it immediately so that I head out before anybody else. Because sometimes people will go through the portal very quickly, and it may cause some issues, such as you get aggro when you land and the tank isn't there. So you got to be careful as a tank. The way you can minimize the issues here is if you just whatchamacallits now. If you just go through very quickly. Now, can I spell reflect these things that they're casting at me? Maybe not these tornadoes, but this thing I could surely spell reflect. Yes, I can. Very nice. Let's actually try and get one of these shield blocks rolling so I have actual shield block available. We're gonna execute here because I don't feel threatened, but I think I'm gonna build up some bad habits here. See, now the the druid ran through and clicked it first, so I'm gonna have to make sure I immediately do some AoE here to get aggro. Okay, and we kick that. Beautiful. And we have shield charge available. I'm gonna ask for shield whatchamacallit, for bloodlust. Oh no, Farak went down. But yes, I'm gonna ask for bloodlust on the last boss rather than next boss, because next boss is a absolute joke. All right, let's demoralizing shout, and then we curse slam with the demolish. Beautiful. Didn't have avatar for the full demolish. That's a little bit unfortunate, but I was focused on other things such as commentary. Farak says don't read the chat on this platform. That's a good point, Farak. That's a good point. Farak probably should have waited for us to activate the shortcut, but we'll just wait for him now. We don't have a summon available or anything like that, so unfortunately we can't help him. I'm just gonna wait for him. I'm not pulling without a healer, guys. I know it's a 2, but it ain't that stupid. I don't actually know what the dance is. Oh, never mind. Farak's here. I don't get to find out what the dance is. Maybe at the end of the dungeon if I don't forget, which I probably will. But yeah, we're going to double charge it to the boss. We're going to spell reflect this first one because it's on me, and then we'll kick the next one, which is on our hunter. And that is it. I'm holding my cooldowns until I have 10 stacks of Colossus's might or whatever, because then I want to overlap everything and make sure we Gucci. Maybe I shouldn't run people down with the frontal. I'm just gonna stand over here now. Okay, we stack up here. You don't have to leave melee to stack with people. And that's something I can point out. They will spawn on the edge no matter what. Okay, we have 10 stacks. We're gonna try and get our shield block up, and now we Ravager, demoralizing roar. We have avatar available, this, and now we're going to curse slam here. I don't mind being hit by these orbs. I really don't care at all. It doesn't do enough damage to make me want to move out of melee or to run in circles. Because if I run in circles, if the frontal targets me, sometimes I'll get distracted and I won't notice that the frontal's on me, and I'm going to kill someone behind me by running in a circle trying to get away from it. So that is something to keep in mind. The more still you are as a tank here, the better. Now my health bar is barely moving in this run because it's a +2, but in general I would be looking to use some shield block. I do also have 2 set, which is something I forgot to talk about. Now people are stacking over here, a little bit inconsistent on the stacking, but I don't think it matters. We have one more demolish left for the boss. But yes, I was gonna say I do have 2 set. I didn't record that. I purified right before I started this after I got enchants and stuff. I went for hero shoulders that I got from what's it called, from the vault, from doing 2 delves on Tuesday before reset, and I decided to tierify the pants because they have a leech, and they had bad stats until I turned them into tier pants, which now they have crit and haste, which is perfect. So yeah, I went for the pants. Now I'm hoping I don't get tier pieces that are whatchamacallit, pants and stuff. But yeah, if I get 2k, I get another catalyst charge. If I get any other source of what are they called, tier, that'll be wonderful. So yeah, bosses are kind of melting, so I don't know if we need to bloodlust at 50%, but I absolutely hate that part of the fight. So we're gonna see if we can bloodlust at 50%. I'm looking to charge as late as possible. I don't want to start mashing my button here because then I might just accidentally use avatar and waste a few seconds of avatar because I have it macroed. I have avatar macroed into a bunch of like abilities that do big damn because avatar comes up extremely often. Now I do believe people said that I can spell reflect this tank buster, so that is something I'm going to try and do. I also need to set up a spell reflect WeakAuras. That would be good. That is grasping rift, my friend, not reaping scythe, but it should be coming up soon. No, we're gonna rally here, Make sure our friends are nice and safe. Shield block, I did not do that. Okay, hold on. Stun everything. We're gonna charge in, kick this guy, move back, try and stack them all up. Okay, Dark Devastation coming through. All right, we have Avatar, we have everything. We can use the 10 stack Demolish, get some damage out. 50% coming up. We're going to be lusting soon. Reaping Scythe came out. I didn't Spell Reflect because I'm stupid, but if I get that Spell Reflect WeakAuras, I will actually be doing it because it is off the global cooldown. I have no excuse other than not paying attention. There's the Bloodlust. We're going through this. Spell Reflect. Can I reflect that? Nope, that's not true. It just didn't reflect shit over here from what I could see. So whoever said that, you lied to me. I think we're in a safe spot. People should be able to move out. Maybe I should probably focus on that frontal placement, but it doesn't kill me, so it doesn't matter. I got bounced back in by the spectators. Should be okay, though. Plenty of space for melee. Rift is far away enough where I don't have to worry about it. Boss is nearly dead. I don't have to worry about the bulls coming up. Reaping Scythe is coming, but the boss is dead, and we can move on from a +2 key to a +4 key, the Rookery. And here we go with a 4 Rookery. We're gonna try and make some safe pulls here because there's some pretty dangerous pulls out here that can be pretty annoying. Now I'm gonna charge down into these guys and shield slam, clap, and then I can jump into these because I already have my defensives rolling or my active mitigation rolling. I'm gonna try and kick some of these. All of them got kicked. Spell Reflect is still up, so we should be a-okay. Now we can use all our AoE. We're building up the Colossus stacks, and we have the Colossus stacks, and now we can use our the Demolish, and holy shit, that is some crazy day. Oh my goodness. So what I was trying to do there was I was trying to build up these stacks. You get them from using Revenge on 3+ mobs, and you also get them from using Shield Slam. So you want to make sure you're getting as many of those as possible. And of course, Shield Slam core to my rotation just to keep up the, what are they called? The buffs, to keep up the shield block buff. Now I want as much uptime on shield block. Ideally, I'd have 100%. I'm currently sitting around 80%, which I think is okay, because there's some moments where you really don't care so much about shield block, so it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, now ideally we pull these guys off to the side here. We're going to use some Spell Reflex to take care of that. We pulled this group as well, and now we just got to make sure people don't stand near there, because that is where a lot of other mobs are going to come in. There's going to be another Thunderer and a Void Rider. You don't want to pull Void Rider with these Thunderers because it'll cause a lot of issues in the sense of there's going to be a lot of damage going on the group. AoE unavoidable damage, and you don't want that. 9.8 million crit from our... Oh my goodness, that is absolutely bonkers. Somebody just left the party? Why did we leave the party? Why did that person leave the party? I guess it's okay. I think they're embarrassed because their DPS was shit. I don't know. Maybe they had to go. Maybe they left the cat in the oven. I don't know. We're gonna rally here, just keep everyone safe. We have Demolish coming up soon. I used my Demoralizing Shout a little too soon, but we get CDR for Demolish if we go over 10 stacks. So every time you go, you're supposed to get a stack of Colossal Might or whatever it is. You get extra, what are they called? You get 2 seconds off the cooldown of Demolish. So we good on that front. So we're just gonna 4-man the +4. Who cares? We got damage. I do enough damage to count as another DPS. So I think we're okay here. Gonna go ahead and Spell Reflect here, which I probably shouldn't have. I don't think I was even being targeted. I'm waiting for... Oh, okay. We're Chi. This is gonna be a little bit more rough, but we're gonna make it work. All right. I want to kill this the Thunderer immediately, so I'm gonna use my 10-stack Demolish on him. I accidentally muted myself on Discord. I don't know if the video recorded that or not. I'm gonna CC this. I think I can get a kick out on this guy to make him group up, keep my defensives rolling. I'm gonna use Shield Wall here and use some self-healing in the form of thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What's it called? My goodness, my brain's not cooperating. What is that called? That thing is called Impending Victory. There we go. I got it eventually, guys. We good. All right. We have another Demolish ready. I need to get my Ignore Pain out, and now we're going to go ahead and use this damage here. Try and finish off the Void Rider. Finish off everything. This is only difficult because it was more than we planned to pull, because people... I think I saw a Chi Wave or a Chi Burst go this way, and we kind of pulled more than we intended to. I'm just going to ping that we should stand over here, because that way we can get into the safe spot when the spin starts. Bloodlust is being used. I didn't have to tell my friend when to use it. He did ask when I want it used, but I think on bosses is fine because the bosses will be more value. Maybe it would have been good here, but honestly communicating that is a little bit difficult. All right, let's see which way we're spinning. We're gonna wait for these circles to land, and then once I move, I'm gonna use Demolish. There we go. We had enough time. We're gonna keep moving. There we go. Beautiful. Shield block back up just so my shield slam does more damage. You want it up even if you're not being hit, because shield slam damage is increased when you have shield block up, just so you know. So it's a good thing to keep up all the time, regardless of being hit or not, especially since we have everything we need to keep it up all the time. If you find yourself struggling to live as a prot warrior, what you're doing is you're probably not using a shield block enough. I forgot about this one pack of mobs, but apparently that shouldn't be an issue. I completely forgot about that pack of mobs. What the heck? How stupid am I? I just forgot about them. Hopefully we have to move in that direction. If not, this might become a bit of an issue. Oh, we were lucky we have to move in this direction. We're good. All is well. But yeah, I think I might need them for percent. I think I have to take them for percent, but I think instead of doing them, I think I'll just do some mobs downstairs and we should be okay. Big circle coming out. We're going to move over to this part. By the way I know where the safe place is these have concrete or whatever the hell material that is in WoW, and these have metal grating. The metal grating means that is where the lightning is going to go for some reason. I don't know. That's just Blizzard's way of making it easier to spot which way you want to go. But yeah, we're going to skip the trash that I should have pulled to begin with, and we're just going to take some extra stuff here. Now, a good thing to do here is to free one of the rooks so that you get this buff, because you just zap every 1 second. You're doing 23k nature damage, so that's 23k DPS that you're getting for free. We're gonna have to pull these because of the fact that I skipped some mobs there. So hopefully we get this killed before the patrol goes out. We're gonna go ahead and kick this guy. Shaman already kicked it. I'm gonna go ahead and use a shield wall here, and I'm coming up on some stacks very quickly. Spell Reflect's gonna go out. No reason to kick that if it's on me. We're gonna put a focus on it. Need to get that shield block back up. I'll use another stack. We have 10 stacks of Demolish. We're gonna go ahead and slam the Jesus out of the diffuser. Want to get damage out on him because he's the prio mob. The extra trash got pulled. We're gonna switch our focus over to this one. We're gonna kick it. Gotta keep things rolling. Gonna use another stack of shield wall just to keep myself safe so the healer doesn't have to worry about me. I could have spell reflected that. That's perfectly fine though. It's a good instinct to kick. Don't worry about my spell reflects. Those are way less important than getting kicks out. Beautiful. I should never be upset about people kicking when I'm trying to spell reflect, honestly. Sometimes I am, at least as DPS. If I'm on comms with people, I'll be like, oh no, I'll make some weird noises or whatever. But for the most part, I'm just happy people are kicking. All right, the demoralizing shout is going to go out. Another kick goes out as I'm trying to spell reflect, but that's fine. Some people don't see who things are being cast on, so it's impossible to tell if you should kick or not. We're going to go ahead and kick now because it was targeting the shaman. I got your back, shaman. He kicks when I'm being targeted. I kick when he's being targeted. We good. We're gonna just shield. We're gonna slam. I'm gonna call everything shield slam. I can already tell, but I'm gonna go ahead and what I wanted to say was I'm gonna shockwave. Apparently that's also called shield slam now, but here you go. If you didn't know, that's called shield slam now. Everything is a shield slam. But yes, moving on to the next group. I didn't want to combine these pulls even in a +4 because the fusers just do an obnoxious amount of damage. Now we can use execute on this on the affix because it actually has 1 health and a huge shield. So we're going to use our Demolish on it. Unfortunately, it died before our Demolish could fully channel, but it's not a big deal. The AoE portion of the Demolish still goes out even if the mob dies, so it's not a complete loss. We're going to use our shield charge here to extend our shield block, and then we're going to use all the cooldowns to finish off this diffuser. I'm just going to use my cooldowns on cooldown, probably. I'm going to try to at least. Oftentimes I'll probably just forget about them, but yeah, anyway, the reason is I have a lot of CDR in my avatar, so I would just want to use it whenever I can. Oh, we grabbed an extra crusher, not a big deal. We have everything set up here for a beautiful demolish, so we're gonna go ahead and use it on the caster. I want the caster dead sooner than anything. I'm not using as many shield slams right now because I'm trying to get these revenges out, because revenge does a lot of damage for us. So sometimes I'll be ignoring a shield slam, even though I probably shouldn't, because shield slam, when it crits, it gives you 2 stacks of Colossal Might, and what we're trying to do really is just cycle our Colossal Might stack, or maximize our Colossal Might stacks, because when you get another one past 10, you get 2 seconds of CDR. I probably already pointed that out, but that is a fairly important part of this. Also, I'd just like to point out, we have 4 people and we're just absolutely demolishing this dungeon. Get it? Because I'm using an ability called Demolish. But yes, that was accidental. It's just in my vocabulary now. We're going to rally here because we have some people that are kind of low HP. We're going to go ahead and use our Demolish to take care of the affix. Healer did a wonderful job here keeping us up. This pull is brutal no matter the key level. There's just so much damage going out, and people sometimes don't use defensives, so it can get pretty hairy pretty quick. Do need to use my shield block here. We're going to also use shield charge to generate more shield block, and now we good. I'm going to waste some of it running around, but then again, we have so much. We have 2 charges of shield block available already. I'm just going to charge in, thunderclap this side, throw weapon, there we go. I should be zapping all of them, and this guy is now active. Shield block and revenge, spam revenge. We are already at 10 stacks. I guess I should thunderclap to lower my demoralizing shout cooldown. Crush reality coming out, but that's okay. We're going to move him to the edge of it, and then we're going to use this. You can use shield block while channeling Demolish. It's nice like that. Now we got to step over here. I want to bring it to you, buddy. Don't run away from me. You're supposed to take the dot. Why are you moving away? Our shaman friend understands how the dot works, so he let it bounce. He just made sure he stays away from the hunter as far as possible. I do have heroic leap. I don't want a heroic leap just yet. He's going to jump onto the spot where he was. I don't know. Did he jump on a pet or something? I don't understand how that works quite fully. All right, we're gonna stand close to this person. There we go. And then we're gonna stand close to the shaman. Gonna focus on getting my shield block back up. Now it's on the shaman. Shaman has to move close to either the monk or the what's he called, other guy. I'll just stand over here. Dark gravity being pull status from the middle of that ring. Can't do anything about it, just got to deal with it. I'm going to try and position him over here, and I now finally have the opportunity to use a Demolish. I don't have Avatar, but I'm going to use Demolish anyway because I have Demoralizing Shout. Now it went on somebody else. It can't go on me. I'm just going to leap away to make sure that it doesn't jump to me, and now I'm going to make sure that it jumps to me because I will be able to not take extra damage from it. So the way you want it to go is just make sure that it doesn't jump to a person who just had it before you. If you get it, that's it. So you don't want it to jump back to a person that had it previously. All right, we're gonna put it on the shaman here. We're gonna move away, make sure that the shaman drops it onto the monk. Okay, we dropped it onto the hunter. I'm holding all my cooldowns because this thing's almost dead. I'm just screw it, demolish and then walk away. Oh, he died midair. Love it. We're gonna use some rage here on some executes. It does good damage. There we go. Beautiful. But yeah, that dot is all you really have to manage there. Healers, as a healer, you might have a bit more work there because sometimes, well, especially as Mistweaver, you're just not going to be able to hit the boss, so you need your lightning charges to make sure that you can heal, or you need Shaylun's gift. Anything that you can heal without actually hitting the boss with is what you're looking for there. And I know that because I did 0 to hero on a Mistweaver right before this. A little bit slower of a dungeon because we only have 3 DPS. We're gonna never mind. We were going to spell reflect, but our friend the shaman took care of that cast for us, so no spell reflect for us. Love the number of kicks the shaman is doing though. Beautiful number of kicks. Hunter decided that he doesn't need to do kicks. He has 0 done so far, and I don't think I've seen his thing on cooldown so far, so yeah, there's that. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to pull all these civilians and these crushers, and we're going to fight these civilians away from, what's his face? The Voidstone there. We don't want to have the Voidstone be near these civilians because I think for every civilian he gets a buff, so we want to just keep those civilians away from him. The emissary getting absolutely beamed down by I don't even know what. Love to see it. Now with these void crushers, I think we can move on to this guy even if they give him 2 stacks. I just don't give a shit. So there's that aspect of it. Now we're gonna go ahead and just do a bazillion damage here using our demolish. Beautiful. Did you see that? That was amazing. Love to see it. We had some more civilians got pulled. That's not what I wanted. I want to minimize the number of civilians being near this guy. But we got him to 40%. Once he reaches 40%, he activates this no matter what. Usually he does 2 void extractions before he activates this Unleash Darkness thing. Either that or he just keeps doing it until he reaches 40%. I don't know. I've only done this at the highest on a +10 key. So I don't know if he does a third void extraction if he doesn't reach the whatever the heck it is, 40%. All right, we have Avatar. We're just going to demolish here. Beautiful. I should stop looking for Avatar, really. I should just try to make it happen. Just press the button no matter what, but make sure that I have my thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What is it? Demoralizing Shout, because I have a talent that makes Demoralizing Shout make enemies take more damage from me. So that is what I'm looking for here. That's why I check if I have it up or not before I press my cooldowns. These two crushers, I don't care about them. We're gonna go ahead and do double Voidstone, or double big guy basically, because I trust my healer right now. He's been healing amazing, and I have all my cooldowns, so these things should be dying fairly quickly. We have 10 stacks of Demolish. You want to prioritize the Ascendant because the heal observers that he puts out is absolutely brutal and will actually cause a lot of issues for your healers. We're doing some good cleave damage here across both of the mobs, so we shouldn't have any issues with that. We're going to kick this Void Bolt, and there we go. Double extraction did go out on the Void Stone, so he has a 28 stacks. He's going to do a bit more damage here, but we're going to make it work. Our healer's doing a good job of keeping us alive. We're going to rally here just to make people a little bit healthier, because we're doing the double pull, and he has 28 stacks. The next one won't have quite as many stacks. Trying to spell reflect that. Oops, I think it got interrupted again, but that's okay. And healer is able to get us through this just fine. I'm not going to use my demolish because these mobs are just about dead, so I think we're okay on that front. We're going to take care of this affix, and then I'm going to jump into the next group. The crushers are kind of beating the shit out of me, though. That's one thing that I need to keep in mind, is that the crushers will be causing some issues to me. Now, I haven't tanked a Rookery yet. Actually, I have. I've done it on my druid, but I did it with my friends, and if you do it with friends, it's trivial because you can coordinate a lot better. But we're looking good. It's looking like it's going to be probably a 2-star depending on how quickly we kill this last boss, considering the fact that we're missing a DPS. Getting a 2-star is kind of crazy. The fact that I don't know, I hope the paladin's okay. Maybe he had like an emergency or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. He just kind of peaced out. He didn't say anything. He just left. It just said leaves party, and that's it. And we got to make sure we don't get knocked off the platform here like our friend the shaman did. Hold on. We wait for the shaman. He can give himself water walking. There we go. I'm glad I recognized that and didn't just immediately charge into the boss. I'm going to be positioning over here, and hopefully I'll be in range for most... The shaman says, I just love my life sometimes. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. But yeah, we're waiting for the shaman to come back, and then we're going to pull. I'm going to position around here, and I'm going to try and move over so that the healer can get to me. Ideally, we all stack around here, and then we go off to the sides as necessary. But yeah, that's we're going to make it work like this. I know that the frontal cone, from my understanding, it clears the thingy thing with the stuffy stuff, the gunk on the ground, but I just don't care enough about that to worry about it. Maybe in super high keys it'll be important, but in pugs it's just better to get this thing the hell away from people, I think. Okay, I have a charge on me, so I can take care of this side. That's beautiful. We're going to go ahead and use all our cooldowns here and demolish the mob. We want to do as much damage as possible to the mob, because the more damage we do, the less of a buff the enemies get. If you can't kill it, the best thing you can do is just do as much damage to it as possible, because the lower its shield is, the less of a buff the enemies get. We have cooldowns available for the damage amp here. Not all of them. We don't have Demolish, unfortunately, but we do have Thunderous Roar, and we shouldn't underestimate the damage that Thunderous Roar can do. Now, we're close to getting another stack of this nonsense of Demolish, but the boss is about to go out of the damage amp thing, so I think we good now. I maybe should have taken the affix over to my friends so that they can do more against it, but, you know, it is what it is. Corruption's being unleashed. Oblivion Wave's coming out. We're going to go and use Spell Reflect. Spell Reflect does a lot for magic damage. I think we can reach this. I'm just going to wait for these swirlies to go away, and then I'll step over closer to this. I'm still in melee range. Boss is taking extra damage right now. I don't have many stacks of Demolish or Colossal Might here, so I'm not going to bother too much with it. But I do have Demoralizing Shout and Thunderous Roar, because we're running the 45-second Roar. We have some Executes ready to go through. Beautiful. Boss dies next shield break. I'm going to try and send this through here. We're going to shield wall. Does it clean the areas? It does not clean the areas. I was lied to. I was lied to. We're going to demolish here, try and get as much damage on it as possible to lower it. I was focusing on clearing the thing, but that didn't really work out. I think the monk tried to roll in and make sure that I'm okay, or touch a death it or something. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, the monk can touch a death the emissary as soon as it spawns in, because the emissary, like I said, is at 1% 1 HP, which means that the thing is just immediately doable. Somebody is going to take care of that because it's spawned further away than melee, and I don't want to have to deal with moving out of melee on this boss. And that's the boss dead with 4 people. Beautiful. I learned something, which is that the frontal cone, the wave, does not actually clean the zones. That's kind of insane. The paladin that left actually got loot. I guess that's just a rule of the game, is if you're a douchebag that leaves, you get loot if the group completes. And here we go with a +6 mother load. The group is what you can see in the bottom right corner of the screen. We're going to go straight down the stairs, and then you do a little skip here. I'm going to pull this undercrawler just because sometimes when people are running back, they pull them, and it can be a bit of a problem. I'm trying to jump up here, and now we're ready to go for the last group. That should be it here. I'm going to shield wall just to make sure I'm nice and safe here. Thunderous Roar, this thing, CCing, rallying, keeping people alive. Spell Reflect needs to go out. We're going to try and do this. I guess I need to stun this. Didn't have the global for it. Okay, now I can finally use my Demolish. There we go. For some reason, I'm second in DPS. I think it's because people are freaking out trying to survive. I'm going to try and drag these guys out of that, but they're kind of slowed by something. I'm not 100% sure what. And this last thing can get kicked. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. I think the Spell Reflect WeakAuras is not exactly working the way we expect it to. People are running. I'm going to ping down like this just so they know which way we want to go. So we just jump down here. I should look for crab pulls here. Don't want to pull crabs, but I should look for them. I'm going to yeet my weapon at the one across the room. And now hopefully people actually just stack up. I'm going to Stormbolt that one. And we're going to charge over and kick this one and taunt him. Then we're going to charge back to this group. There we go. Demolish is up. We're going to use a shield wall here. Just keep myself safe. We're going to Demoralizing Shout here. Shaman opts to release rather than to, reincarnate, which I think is okay. It's just a little trash pull, so we shouldn't have to spend too many resources on it. I'm going to drop my AoE stun here. Bit of an overpull, it looks like. People are not quite ready for this just yet. Demoralizing Shout. More crabs are being pulled. There's going to be a couple of crabs exploding here. I wasted my kick here. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Hopefully somebody else kicks the other beam. Other beam is almost killing our shaman again. This time I think he would have out of frustration used that reincarnation. But it looks like we're okay. Crabs are going to have to die after everything else, or rather one of the crabs is up last. I think what I did here was I overpulled. That last bit, I did not need to pull that guy. It kind of spread out the pull because they just stand there and they're slow, and everything seems to be extremely slow right now, and I'm not sure why. Mobs are just very slow. We have 2 stacks of the bomb dot from the crab. I think we killed the second one too quickly. We're gonna go ahead and just pull everything here. I'm not too worried about it. I'm okay with being over percent. I just want to make sure people don't pull shit they don't need to pull. Trying to get aggro and establish aggro, taunting that one, and now we're gonna Demoralizing Shout, and I think we can also demolish here. We don't have a kick available from us, so we have to just watch that cast go off and hit someone with the trick shot. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use Thunderous Roar here, even though I've kind of run out of cooldowns to use it with. I guess Avatar was still up, so it's not a big deal. Okay, shield block needs to be maintained. I need to do a bit of a better job of that. I should be using it before the WeakAuras tells me I need to use it. I might just put it up so that when there's 2 seconds left, I actually have the WeakAuras pop up then, rather than when the aura is completely missing, like right now. So there's that. But yeah, we're going to move on to the first boss here, and we're going to shield charge into it and then use another stack of shield block. We're going to Demoralizing Shout and then use Demolish on everything. Beautiful. What I'm looking for here is to move the boss a bit closer to this side. Hopefully that isn't bothering. Oh, we have a Flame Strike Mage. I'm so sorry, Flame Strike Mage. I'm going to rally here just for safety because I saw that orb go out and I was kind of stuck in it. I don't know. I freaked out, so I rallied. Don't judge me too harshly. I'm a little bit overwhelmed here. I felt bad because I moved things out of the mage's flame strikes, so the ads weren't taking as much damage anymore, which is that bothers me on a personal level when I make a mistake like that. I wasn't thinking of it, but because I thought too late of moving the boss. Anyway, we're gonna save this demolish. We're saving it for when the ads die and he starts his jump start, because that is when he takes more damage. So last shield slam into a beautiful 10 stack demolish. Could have used demoralizing shout beforehand. I think it may have just come up during the damage, or rather during the cast of demolish. I'm not 100% sure. We get the affix killed, and now we can move away. I'm gonna try and get aggro on these guys, but it may be a bit of a pain in the ass because of reasons. I let my active mitigation fall off, which is not good. We're trying to get these taunts out, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass because we have to move the boss. I should have moved the boss a bit sooner. I'm gonna use demoralizing shout. And this, I'm going to charge into this to kick it, just to make sure that that's safe. It's easiest for me to do. There are ranged kicks, but I don't trust anyone. I have zero trust. Then maybe that's a me issue. Now, if somebody else has to kick that, the mage does kick it. There we go. I probably shouldn't have charged in. I should have let the mage handle it as is intended. But it worked out in the end. Trying to regain stacks of Colossus so that I can, or not Colossal Might, I should say, so that I can do my thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Demolish during the damage amp, but that doesn't seem likely anymore. 16 seconds away on Demolish, so we're just going to send our cooldowns here and call it a day. Thunderous Roar goes out with an avatar amplifying it. Jump start's almost over. We're going to use Demolish here just because the boss is nearly dead. We should be able to kill it without me having to move it. Beautiful. And we can take care of this emissary. There it goes. And we just charge straight into the next pack if I can just get my line of sight on it. There we go. It was up the stairs, so I couldn't get to it. I'm trying to target this stupid soldier to taunt it. Maybe I should do a mouse over taunt. That might be something I want to try. But I think I want to put that on a separate bind just so that... But anyway... just thinking of things on the fly here. Need to make sure my active mitigation stays active, and we also need to make sure I get a fresh stack of Colossal Might here right before this ends. Get that shield slam in. The reason is because I have 22 seconds to keep this thing alive and pull into the next group. Now, I'm not going to overlap these groups. I'm going to leap in here and pull the loader bots. The loader bots are pretty dangerous in and of themselves. I do have an AoE stun that I can handle them with, but I don't want to risk it for the biscuit here. That biscuit ain't worth it. We have a 10 stack of Demolish. Our rogue proccing his cheat death because I was demolishing instead of doing my AoE stun on the loader bots. You can see why I am worried about the loader bots. They're just kind of dangerous. We're going to use all of our cooldowns here to make sure this pull goes a little bit quicker. Doing absolutely insane amounts of damage, keeping up with the rest of our DPS, even though most of them outgear me by a significant amount, like 10 item levels. But at least I think so. That's the kind of groups that we're applying to the kind of people that we're applying. Yeah. 7 item level difference. Wait for the affix to spawn. Here it is. Beautiful. We're just gonna kill it so that we have the buff as we go in. Don't want to have to deal with that in the middle of the pull here. All right, just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these contractors. They don't really do anything, so we may as well pull them. Gonna move over to them so I can thunderclap them, get that shield block up, demoralizing shout, kick this thing, and we have 10 stack demolish. We're gonna use it on the blood warper because he does big damage. We don't want to deal with that. Kick goes out. I don't get the spell reflect. We get a wall of text in what I assume is Spanish, and that is the end of this fight, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and assume, yeah, the shaman's taking care of it. Thank you so much, Coffee Star. I'm gonna ping the shield or the little target icon here. That is the best place to land. Landing over here is risky because you risk pulling the crabs. Most people will pull at least one crab there if you give them a chance to, so be careful with that. We're gonna try and break this scaffolding as quickly as possible, and then from there we're gonna drag this group into the next one. There we go. Beautiful. Because I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense. We get that shield block back up, get that ignore pain back up, and now we have demolish, which we can use on the architect here because he's kind of the beefiest mob. I didn't get my kick out there because I was casting demolish. Somebody else did handle it though, so that is good. I'm going to try and move them ever so slightly away from, yeah, see, that's why, because these crabs are now being pulled. That is unfortunate. I should have moved sooner. Probably could have prevented this. We're going to taunt here and get the revenge and thunderclap out, and let's reapply some more shield block. We're going to kick this thing so people don't have to run and leave a bunch of stuff on the ground. We should be okay here. Don't really have anything to dump rage into other than revenge, which is always a good time. Okay, and we're going to demolish now. Emissary comes out. I should have used my Demoralizing Roar before I use Demolish, but that's okay. More crabs are being pulled. We're gonna have to stagger killing these crabs, otherwise we're gonna have a bad time, because we're gonna get basically we're gonna get old bursting back from these crabs dying. But we do have a shaman who can heal through that. Ideally, we would slow down our DPS so that, yeah, it ran out. Okay, now when this crab dies, we slow down our DPS. Well, I think we can just blast because these guys are not going to live past that. But I have 10 stacks of my Demolish ready for the next pull. We're gonna have 2 stacks of this most likely because they're just too close to each other in HP, so they're just gonna die at around the same time. I'm gonna focus this one on slower HP and just wait for a couple of seconds. I'm not hitting it. Yeah, okay, we managed to reset it, so we're relatively safe for this next pull. I'm gonna pull one of these groups and I'm gonna use a shield wall here, put a focus on this guy. Aggro is a little bit questionable because I'm being silly and I'm using things that I don't need to. I'm thinking about things I don't need to be thinking about. 2 of these are coming out. I'm just trying not to stand in that shit. Now I can finally demolish here, I think. And I use it on the contractor, the worst target because it does nothing. But it's okay. I do it for the AoE. We're going to move a little bit because it's just getting a little bit too crowded here. We're going to step closer to the existing blades. For that, we're going to throw a Stormbolt at that one so he doesn't do his stupid shit. Make sure we move. 2 flamethrowers going off at the same time is a little bit annoying because you can't move either of them. And you might want to move one of them so that you have easier access to DPS it for the melee. But that's okay, it all works out. Shredation coming out, everyone can move. I'm moving it through the blades, which is not ideal for melee, but I couldn't tell where people were standing, so that's why it went that way. Follow this if you want. Okay, waiting for a sec. Affix, bro. I don't see the affix. What are we talking about? They're not buffed by the affix. They weren't in combat. I'm confused. Anyway, what am I doing? I am using my Demolish here. I'm going to use it on Bront because Bront is a pain in the ass that doesn't die as quickly. We're moving over. We have the gel coming out. I don't have to worry about the charge until it's the last charge, and then the last charge I have to clean house with. Okay, charge is going off, clearing 2 mines. Next charge is on Gutshield. No, it's on the Rogue. Rogue is able to take care of both of these, I think. No, he doesn't charge quite as far. I'm not gonna get the last one, but yeah, I know where the thing is. We dispel it. It's dispellable. You get 2 dispels and I think 3 charges. I couldn't get there because I used my leap thinking that it was on me, not on the Rogue, but it ended up being on the Rogue. Okay, and we move over to Quick Fuse again. I'm very overwhelmed by this boss. We're gonna taunt that lady and we're gonna send all my cooldowns here. We're gonna demolish. Quick Fuse, I got stunned by the charge, not a big deal. Another charge going out, still not on me. Charge on me. I think all the bombs are taken care of, so it doesn't matter. Hopefully I don't hit any of the melee. The melee take care of it. I need to use shield block here, make sure I live. The wallop's gonna go out, but it's dead before that happens. We have to go ahead and use this extra action button. Somebody's taking care of the bombs. There we go. We take care of the Zeppelin, so there's no more circles on the ground, and that should be manageable. I think we have to pull the divers here, so I'm gonna go divers first. 3 divers here, 3 divers here. We pull 6 divers. There we go. And then we're gonna pull the kelp. So if people have cooldowns, they can use them here, recover them on kelp, then use on boss again, or whichever way they want. I don't know what would be preferable. The kelp are a bit of a pain in the ass, so we should be careful with that. Knockback comes through. Love that knockback. It enables melee to keep DPSing without having to maneuver around the bombs. That was a really good knockback by the druid. Well done, Juicy XO druid. Well done, friend. That was beautiful. And now we pull 6 kelp because I am ruthless like that. So we're going to go ahead and pull the 6 kelp. Demoralizing shout. I'm going to shield wall and demolish and use a, what's this thing called? A shield, no, an ignore pain. And shield block. We're going to stun 1. 2 are spinning. 2 are spinning. We kick 1. We knock them up and stun them with this. I don't have a fear, unfortunately. If we have a blood elf or we have the mage who can potentially spell steal, that's also something. One of the kelps is dead. Slowly but surely they're going down. I'm trying to taunt this one back in. There we go. By this one I mean the affix. I'm going to start executing the affix just to make sure that it dies or it gets as low as possible before it goes off. It went off, and that was partially my fault because it didn't taunt it back into the group, but we should be okay here. Looking at 10 stacks of this thing, we're going to use my demolish. There we go. Okay, could have been cleaner. Well handled by the shaman. 1 million HPS is being dropped. I forgot that I need to click. Always left, says the mage. Yes, mage is definitely been through some shit with this boss. But I'm spamming taunt. I'm spamming taunt. I'm spamming taunt. I'm spamming taunt. I want to make sure that it doesn't hit anyone. spammed taunt enough to make sure that happens. Our rogue is deciding to stack, go behind the boss. I don't know why that is the case. We're going to move to the left. Everyone's moving to the left, to the left, to the left. All the DPS in a box to the left. We're going to move some more away from that, from the waves. We're going to rally here. Hopefully people use defensives. I'm a tank, so I can't really use the defensives. Like that, it doesn't matter what I do with defensives. Sludge Claws comes out, but I have my active vindication rolling on a 6, and that is more than enough apparently. We move to the left yet again. It's nice now that it doesn't prefer healers. Healers get a much easier time. They don't have to worry about where their other DPS are position, or where the other people are positioning. We move to the left again because there's waves right there. I don't know how to help my group here. Rogue takes some waves to the face, not ideal. Closing in on whatever. Brain is not cooperating. We do have CRs. CR is going to go out. Healer is now bound to the thing, to other players, so they can't move around as freely. That is because our rogue went down, so a healer did get bound. Swamp Face getting relatively low. We're going to move to the right, even though we said always left, because we would have to run through the waves to get there. I'm going to go and use my Demolish here because I have enough stacks. Trying to avoid all that. Sludge Claws coming through. Again, I don't care because Shield Block is OP, along with Ignore Pain. Rogue is constantly standing behind the boss. Is that like a thing you need? You don't need to do that as assassination. There is no benefit to that. Just stack and move left with everyone else. Waken the Swamp is coming through. I don't think we have a good spot to stand here. We're just gonna go ahead and you know, take it like a champ. And that's the boss dead right as I use my cooldowns. Good job, Vlad. I wasn't paying attention to the health. That is a peak Vlad thing, though. I always forget to look at the boss's health before I use my shit. Okay, we're gonna stack over here. I'm just pinging so that people stack over here when Bubbles comes out, so that the Bubbles drops are all the way over here. People are also standing behind line of sight. That is also okay. We're gonna move away now. Or we can stand on this side, I guess. That also works, but ideally I would have moved back so the range doesn't have to move as far. But this works just fine. Backwash is coming out. We can spell reflect that, apparently. That's pretty cool. I only got 1 stack of it, so that's nice. Or 2 stacks of it instead of 3, so that's something I can enjoy here. The bubble drop is coming through. We're gonna get our ass kicked is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and taunt this thing and make sure that we see. Oh my goodness, I just got overwhelmed. The backwash is coming through again. Now we can move back to where the bubbles were here. Holy shit, I got caught by the bubbles. By Bubbles' bubbles. On my way around. We're trying to make sure we don't pull this scaffolding group because there's no need to do that. I'm gonna demolish here to make sure he dies before any stupid shit happens. Trying to avoid these bubbles because they will still do damage to you. That's something you should note. Trying to kick this guy, and now we should be good. I spell reflected for God knows what reason. We have that patrol, but I'm gonna drag it into next if we kill this fast enough. If not, then I'll pull it with this. Waiting for the patrol to come in. There's the inspector. Electrician's also aggroed onto me. We're going to stand over here so we can line of sight him, and then we're going to kick him. There we go. Beautiful. Just trying to avoid pulling the Sleeping Beauty over there. I don't think I need him for percent. We had some extra crabs, so we should be over percent. But overall, I think we're okay. Range DPS standing a bit to the side, prompting the inspectors to jump behind them and be far away from the melee, reducing cleave. Also far away from their spells and AoEs. So something that can be improved if you're playing range DPS in these polls. You can move a little bit closer, and that way the inspectors don't jump quite as far. And you increase the effective DPS of your group, which is beautiful. If there's a way for you to increase your DPS without having to do your rotation, you should do it, because that is really true optimizing right there. I'm gonna send some cooldowns into this pack. I'm not too troubled by it. We don't have a good way to skip. We have Shroud, actually. Can we use Shroud? I think I need this group either way. I'm gonna pull it. Looking at percent, I'm fairly certain I do need that group. I'm gonna use my Demolish here just to clean up the rest of this group. Beautiful. I don't know why I'm doing these obnoxious amounts of DPS. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Spell Reflect is up. I'm going to Spell Reflect that. And we're going to kick it. And now I think I can group them up. I'm going to save my rally. I do have it available. I'm going to save my rally for the next one. We're going to CC this because it was casting at both of them were casting at the same person. They're doing it again. The rogue is being targeted by it, which is not exactly good for his health bar. We're going to stun one because again they were targeting the same person while this one's doing AoE. You cannot afford that. Kicks going out. Beautiful. Druid took care of it. Love to see it. Druid also did a yoink back pull thing where he drops the Versal's Vortex and then does the knockback to CC them for a prolonged period of time, which is beautiful. We're going to rally here, try and keep things going. Spark Slam coming through. I don't even feel it, man. I don't even feel it. I am surprised by how tanky I am. This is incredibly fun, honestly. I'm doing so much damage while also being incredibly tanky. At least it feels like that. Maybe I should ask the healer if he's having trouble keeping me alive. I'll ask him after the end of the dungeon if I remember. Probably won't, because I have the memory of a goldfish. And anything I say I'll do after the end of a dungeon, I usually tend to forget to do. I think there was something I said I'd check at the end of the dungeon as well, which I've already forgotten what it is, so good luck. You can point out in the comments what it was. I don't know, or something. Just give me some engagement, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. 54% combustion ready. 54% mana on the healer. Healer is sitting down to drink, I think. Yes, he is. Beautiful. There's some RP here, so it doesn't matter. We're going to use our charge. Druid wants me to pull immediately. We can do that. I have Demolish ready. We're smacking him in the dome with Demolish. Beautiful. Now he's going to smack me in the dome with the Tank Buster, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't think I need to use anything. I'm going to save Last Stand in case I'm low when he goes to hit me, but I'm going to use my shield wall here. Thunder Punch coming through. We good. Yeah, that thing hits like a truck. We're standing and electrifying 2 puddles. I'm not a huge fan of that, I'm gonna be honest with you, but we'll make it work. Leaping Sparks are coming through. We gotta run through here. I'm gonna stand over here. Hopefully nobody baits it into this. I'm gonna try and leap backwards when he tries to knock me back like this. Oh, hold on now. Rogue having some trouble. Thunder Punch coming through. I almost got put into electricity. I don't like that. I mispositioned there for a second. I also took a lot of damage because I didn't use anything to actually defend myself from it. But it looks like all of those thingies are gone. We're going to taunt the emissary, make sure it stacks up here so we can cleave it down while he's in the intermission. I taunt him again. I already did taunt him once. I can't get him. I can't get him off you. I thought it would move sooner. I probably used my taunt too soon. But we're going to... that is a very buffed up boss. I don't like that one bit, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Thunder Punch is coming through. I should be okay. I don't think I have to do anything. Giga Zap coming through. Please move away. You're supposed to move. That is irritating. CRI is coming through, but I think that's a reset. Do I reset? Do I reset? Do I reset taunt? We have 1 CR available. We should use it on a DPS. Thunder Punch is coming through. I'm going to use my big defensive. Leap back in. Don't get thrown out. I don't know who it was that kept getting shit on with the circle, but that was kind of irritating. Okay. We got this. We got this. One more intermission. We have 4 people up. We should be okay. If we can time a Rookery with 4 people, we can finish the last 30% of a boss with 4 people. Or I should say 15% at this point. I'm going to use Shield Charge to reapply my shield block. And I think we're at 10 stacks of Demolish. I don't have any other buffs active. We're going to use this thing. I want to kill the emissary. I don't know if I should be focusing the emissary or the boss. I'm hitting the emissary. Maybe not the best call. I'm going to rally here. Keep us extra safe. Sparks are coming out. We're at 5 million HP on the boss. He just gets to die, and there we go. And I got... what did I get? Ringing Ritual Mud. 8 million damage and pulsing damage split between enemies nearby. That is a lot. And its versatility, which isn't horrible for me. Periodic damage you take coalesces into pungent mud to feed the ritual, reducing its cooldown by 2 seconds. So if I have dots on me, this lowers the cooldown. I need to macro this into stuff. That's a good trinket, though. And a hero trinket, too. Now, the lore of Gutshield has expanded. As you can see, we now have a nice little cap with goggles. We've switched from a sword to a fist weapon with a glowy red enchant, which I think is Sin Wrath from the thing. We also now have a platter instead of a shield because he's a fat ass and he wants to eat all the time. So his gut is the actual shield, and this is literally just accessory so he can, whenever he needs to, eat on the go. And of course, he has to bring his favorite drink with him anywhere he goes. The anal beads are still here. The Spartan skirt is still here. So important things are still in place. We're just expanding onto it. I also added some bracers that kind of match the general color scheme. So yeah, here we are. All right, here we go with a 7 Cinderbrew Meadery. We have Tyrannical on the affix count. We're just going to start off nice and slow. 3 of these, yeah, sure. 3 of these. By 3 of these, I mean the 3 pyromaniacs, but only, whatchamacallits, only one of the hired muscle or whatever. And then those are the ones we're going to focus. We're going to slam them with this. I'm going to CC everything because I can see a couple of beams going out. Make sure I keep up my defensives. There we go. Chewy's all the way over there. We're going to grab muscle and these guys and these 3 patrons in the middle. This should be okay. We shouldn't pull Chewy, and I don't want to pull too hired muscle if I don't have to. This is a nice way to keep it nice and smooth. Smooth and nice. That's how we like it. If you don't pull too hard muscle, your healers should have an easy enough time to get through it. So that is why we're only pulling 1 hired muscle. And you don't want to pull Chewy with hired muscle either, because you might overlap the dot that Chewy does with a bunch of damage from the hired, with the extra damage from Chewy and everything. People are blasting the damage. I can't really keep up and I can't hold aggro, which is ironic for for a spec that does a shit ton of damage, but I just didn't have things ready. We're going to grab these extra patrons and Pyromaniac, and I'm dead, and we're gonna jump in and AoE taunt and use a shield wall. Should be able to reestablish myself here in just a second. Okay, there we go. I don't have another shield wall, so we're gonna use last stand. Holy shit, I went down like a sack of bricks. Holy crap. All right, keep those defensives rolling. Why is this so difficult? I would not be able to tell you. I'm gonna use a healing potion. What am I doing wrong here is what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I'm not using my defensives enough, but I've used just about everything, so maybe the healer just ran out of stacks of pain suppression to give me and keep me alive. Okay, that was scary as hell, but we managed to get through. Was Chewy in this pull? I'm pretty sure. No, Chewy was not in this pull, so there's really not much that I could have done better there. These guys don't actually give percent, but I'm giving them something, my friends something to funnel off of, and myself a way to stack colossal might stacks without having to do shield slam. We'll do Chewy here, and we should be a-okay. Make sure I don't get hit by these. These have been slowed down, by the way, recent patch. You have an extra second to get out of them. This is much nicer than it was before. Another change is also the Chewy no longer, prevents CC on the ads, which makes it MDI groups are going to be pulling this whole room. I can already tell. It's going to be pretty crazy. I can't wait to see some shit that people do. And probably a lot of more PUG tanks are going to feel like they could do this as well. So that's going to be interesting. 76% on the Disc Priest. Yes, I know. I need to take him that side. Taunt him. I'm going to taunt that as well, I guess. Try and get it out of here. Kick smash coming through. I'm not too worried about it. We should be okay. I am trying to get aggro on this last little guy, but it was a bit of a pain in the booty hole. All right, we have just about everything. We have 10 stacks of Colossal Might, so we can just curse slam this guy. Keg smash comes through. Doesn't knock me back because of Colossal Might. It looks like it works for some knockbacks. Doesn't work for others. A little bit irritating, but that's okay. Inconsistency is kind of the key here, I guess. Okay, and 2 people standing right on top of these. There's not much I could do about that, friends. There's not much I could do about that. They're just going to have to deal with what they've dropped. We're going to use Rallying Cry here to make sure that people live, because our Disc Priest friend was having a tiny bit of trouble here trying to actually get those done. It looks like we're all done here with all the stuff. Beautiful. We're going to try and move all the way over here to make sure that those circles that we drop don't end up in the way for the next intermission. I need to actually reapply my shield block. There we go. A little bit overwhelmed here, but we're trying to make it work. Key thing is tank is just get him out of the center so that he doesn't drop those circles, these like little areas over there. And also probably get him out away from these so that people aren't being stunned and whatnot. Apparently one little thing you can do is if you have a root immunity, you can use that to avoid getting stuck in these. See, if I was immune to roots right now, I would not be in this circle. Luckily, it's just me. I'm the tank. I can take it just fine. We're gonna grab this, and that's the last one. We're gonna leap over. Here he comes. We don't care anymore where this guy goes. There's one over there. It looks like our friend just managed to get that in there. That's perfect. We're gonna drag him off to the side, away from these circles. He should be dead soon. The group's doing obnoxious amounts of damage, so we should be just fine. We're gonna go ahead and use some offensive cooldowns here just to make him die that little bit quicker. We're not exactly the top DPS, but nothing to be ignored, you know. Our Thunderous Roar does do a significant amount of damage no matter what. He's about dead, so I just wanted to make sure I'm here close to the door so we can immediately move on to the next thing. We're going to go ahead and pull this Hobgoblin with that. I don't think we need to do much more than that. We're just going to use our Demolish. Even though it's 9 stacks, I think it's still good enough rather than waiting for or another stack. We're gonna send it straight down the middle because no ranged ever wants to give a shit about that, which is a little bit annoying. We're going to knock up the Pyromaniac because that is a channel, so we can do that. I'm going to charge over here, make sure I have aggro on those drops. I don't want those drops to be bothering us. We're having a bit of a heal issue here. It seems like people are low for quite a while, but that's okay. I want to kill this Hobgoblin before we go anywhere else because he's about to charge again. So I used my thingy, make sure I get aggro on the little drops. Mage really wants to keep going here. I'm very tempted to just let him actually try and tank these because I wanted to drag these into the next group, but okay. I guess we have Soothe for our next group, so we should probably skip it. It's very easy to skip. You can skip it without Soothe too, but with Soothe, it's an absolute joke. Soothe next. Probably should have pulled these with the previous group, but with everyone being so low, I think it's kind of nice that I didn't because it was kind of a close call for a couple of people's health bars there. All right, let's see. Soothe next. Priest, Soothe. There we go. And we just walk right past it. There is the emissary lady. We're going to taunt her and just drag her into next. Using shield charge to get a charge in, which will give us shield block. We're going to then use some more shield block, just natty. We have to use something to get aggro here. We're going to use challenging shout just to make sure I have aggro. Reckless delivery on me. I'm going to send it close and I'm going to rally, even though it's not fortified. It's not fortified, but I still want to make sure people are safe from that. And it'll really. They managed to thread the needle and send him into the next area. I hope he doesn't pull anything. I think he's on his way back. Nope. Losing thread already on a bunch of targets in there. That is impressive that someone managed to make him charge through the wall, through the door there. We are pulling absolutely everything. I'm going to drop my Ravager. I'm going to drop Last Stand, and I'm going to try and hold aggro on this. I'm going to use Demolish just for aggro generation. Demoralizing Shout. We're going to try and knock everything up. We're going to stand in the circle that our priest has put down. This might just be a reset, but we'll see how it works out. Thunderous Roar. Need to keep my shield block up. Need to use everything I have. We're going to use Healing Potion. Ignore Pain is hard to keep up because I'm spending resources on other things. Oh, I can't live this. I'm going to have to knock and run. This is as far as I can go. Yeah, that's undoable. Reset. So when the Hobgoblin charged through the door, that was it, because he was going to pull a shit ton of enemies no matter what. I'm going to say careful with that, and hopefully people will be now careful with that. Because that was annoying. That was probably a lot of preventable deaths, but oh well, whatever. It's not fortified, so again, we should be a-okay with doing whatever we want here. We have a Hobgoblin. He survived that whole encounter, so I'm a little annoyed about that, but we'll make it work. I'm going to drag him into the next area and see if we can't just pull these with him, because I don't want to pull two Hobgoblins if I don't have to. Everyone being knocked back for some reason. I wouldn't be able to tell you why. People insistent on making the Hobgoblins charge into random directions and pulling more shit constantly. I know it's not fortified, but you guys need to actually let your tank decide what to pull, because if you want a tank, you can go ahead and roll a tank character. And yes, I am that salty. I mean, come on, guys. This is not a difficult concept. CC everything during the beams, and we're trying... and there's a Hobgoblin that's going to go straight into... Can you look out a bit, please? Like, it's not difficult. We just made them charge into a bunch of other enemies, which are not going to get pulled. Whatever. It's not going to kill us, but that is really, really irritating. It's genuinely not that difficult. Just, if you have a giant red arrow above your head, try and make him go into a wall that's nearby. The stupid Phoenix keeps pulling half the dungeon. I swear, every time they make some kind of pet ability or whatever, they first have to go through a phase where it pulls everything in every dungeon before they fix it and make it stop doing that. And by they, I mean Blizzard. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, we have all our buffs up and 10 stacks of Colossal Might. We're going to use that on the Hobgoblin. I feel like I can go next with the Hobgoblin. It shouldn't be an issue, because these guys are going to chain pull for me if I don't do it myself. Now I'm waiting for someone to pull with the Hobgoblin the next group, but we'll see how that works out. Reckless charge in 1 second. It's on the priest. The priest is standing in Narnia. He's actually moving to a reasonable location, but the Hobgoblin dies, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to move next. The key thing here is I want to have one Hobgoblin, because it's a big AoE hit that we can't really avoid. The Pyromaniacs and whatnot, the beams are either interruptible or just you can just deal with them by... let's see, Mage is moving. Mage is moving. Okay, we good. I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm just looking at whether people are gonna send him into Narnia or not, and trying to react to that and keep that going. Lots of chain pulls. Crate happens. Probably happy with that because he gets to keep his Ignite alive. I'm gonna drag this into the next group. Keep that Ignite alive. Maybe potentially spread it to all of these. Group him up, let him spread. There we go. He probably has Ignite up on all of these enemies now, which is very happy about. Love to see that. Keep the Fire Mage happy, keep the group happy. Because they seem to really like chain pulls, so, you know, whatever. We're going to Shockwave this. I don't think I need Shockwave for anything else. I do have Stormbolt for the boss when we get started with that. It is tyrannical, so we are hopefully going to use Bloodlust on it. We have Bloodlust available from the last pull. Last tester goes down. We're just going to go into the boss immediately. Hopefully spread Ignite. Doesn't seem like we were able to do so, but that's okay. I have all of my cooldowns available. I'm going to use Demolish on the boss. I'm going to keep it here, and you don't want to keep it near the walls. If you keep it near the walls, when the little thing spawns in, it's going to be probably right up next to the boss, and that can cause some issues. We're going to stun this one, move closer to it while I try to move away. There we go. I'm just kiting him away. I don't care about hitting him right now. He's going to smack me, but I don't really care. It's not really going to hurt that bad. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to stun this one. Okay, we good now. Still keeping him away from the walls. These are going to respawn. I'm going to start moving him when his energy gets to about 90-ish. You got to look out for that. All right, we have another set of all our cooldowns. We're going to use Demolish here. 80%-ish. That's when I'm going to start moving just to keep it safe, because these guys are respawning right about now. I'm just pointing those out to them to make sure that they actually CC them. New ones are spawning in. It looks like there's one right here. We're going to stun that one, and then we're going to drag past it. You stun one of them, you CC one of them, and that's it. That's what you could do as a tank, is make sure that that doesn't affect you. We have a knock up available. We're going to knock all of them up that we can. Boss should be dead before the next ones reach. I'm going to try and drag him, try and drag him. He doesn't touch any of them. Very good. Back to the first position just to keep it safe, and that should be a-okay. So as tank, this is what you do. You look for his energy, which I can see over here. Maybe you have a better UI, maybe you have an easier way to track it. But at 80% energy, you want to start moving away from the existing puddles, because otherwise he's going to start, like, they're going to respawn. And if you don't immediately, if you're not already far away, he's going to start spinning and you can't move him while he's spinning. So it just becomes a massive pain in the ass, like a genuinely massive pain in the ass. All right, let's use our trinket here. The trinket is something I forgot to use in that first bull where I died. I probably would have lived if I had used my trinket. I just realized, but that's okay. It's whatever. Kick that AoE from the Purveyor. I'm trusting somebody else will kick the Bestial Wrath, but apparently not, because he has the Bestial Wrath buff. Never mind. Don't trust DPS to kick anything that isn't in the main cluster of enemies, honestly. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have a bad time if you rely on that, other than having someone on voice that you can say, like, hey, can you kick that guy that is not grouped and will not continue, that it will continue to not be grouped until somebody kicks him, and I can't because I don't have a ranged kick, and if I go to kick him, everything's gonna like just spread out and nobody's gonna be able to cleave. Could you do that maybe potentially? I don't know, man. I swear DPS brain sometimes is very, very limiting. But hey, it's not a big deal. That's what we're here for. We can try and mitigate the fact that our DPS are not paying full attention to everything that's happening in the dungeon. So the annoying part of this place is the bee wranglers, and also there's a lot of damage that comes out from the final sting from the little bees, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Purveyor here. We're gonna get some dots on these guys. Let's get a Demolish out. That'll hold my aggro on them, and then I'm gonna leap through the door, stun all of them, leap through the door, pull these bees, make them spawn in, and just head back. Now when they come back in, damn, these guys killed these so quick, I didn't even have a chance to actually deal with these bees. Never mind. I should have just pulled them right off the bat instead of trying to do fancy shit with my Demolish and whatnot. All right, we just take care of these beelets. That'll let this patrol move in. That is perfectly timed for the patrol, for sure. That's exactly what I was trying to do. Not just being stupid about it. Definitely trying to time the patrol. Whoopsie daisy. Whatever. I make mistakes. This is my third time tanking this dungeon, so I feel like I'm allowed to have some mistakes like that. And it's not even that much of a mistake. A mistake would wipe us. This is more like just not being optimal with it. Hey, you know, with the amounts of damage these guys are doing, I'm not really worried about it. I think this is a farming the necklace kind of group, or farming the necklace and gilded crests kind of group. We move on to the next group. We're gonna use challenging shout here, as I'm worried that I won't be able to hold aggro otherwise. We have some pets pulling these. I forgot that that's going to be a thing with a hunter in the group. We're gonna try and stay inside this shield. Gonna CC everything just to give ourselves some time to actually recover. Stand outside of that, charge in. There's a volley that we need to kick. There's another volley here. but hopefully I think somebody else already took care of it. We're gonna go ahead and use our demolish on this mob, keep these shield blocks and ignore pains rolling, and that is, I think, us ready for the boss. I'm gonna jump in, thunderclap those, and just make sure I have aggro, because aggro has been a bit of a pain in the ass this run so far. Now I'm hoping people don't blast the adds as soon as they come in, so I can actually get aggro on them. I am trying my bestest. I can't promise much considering I only have throw weapon, and throw weapon exactly, well, throw weapon, not throw weapon, but what's it called, heroic throw now, but it's not exactly all that much. That knockback hurting quite a bit, but we're still good. I'm trying to stack the marinades off on the side. People are actually using the little bees to clear the barrels. That's amazing. There is still another bee. There's still another barrel. Okay, I guess we get some extra bees. That's okay. We're gonna do heroic throw here, try and get aggro on these. Shield block. There we go. Trying to keep myself covered with my defensives here. I don't want to get into the bees myself. I'm gonna move the guy away from the bees, or the guy being the boss. And we're gonna use some offensive cooldowns here. We're gonna drop that. Emissary is gonna go down from just people cleaving it. That's beautiful. People are taking care of the little brew things now. I think I just body pulled this. Am I stupid? I think I am stupid, but we're gonna go ahead and watch our paladin friend die. I think probably to aggro, because he just started blasting things. We're gonna try and keep ourselves alive, trying to figure out where the tank is. I need to leap over here. Hold on, I'm out of potions. I need more potions. I need Jesus. Can I actually? I don't have my stupid jumper cables anywhere on my keyboard. Done everything. Move away again for this thing. I'm trying to combat res our paladin friend. I think we've recovered now enough. Honey volley needs to go down. Taunts are going out. Keep letting my defensives fall. Why did I charge over there? Nobody knows. I'm trying to target the tank now with my res. There's the res. Jumper cables. Beautiful. He gets a res. I get to move away. If he wants to take it, he can take it. Oh, I'm so stressed out. Okay. We made it work. We made it work. That was a cluster and a half, but we made it work. I'm trying to drop these off, trying to taunt. So much shit to do. I'm standing in this, and the boss is dead. I don't know if that CR was worth it, but holy shit, man. Jesus, I had to drag it out. That was such a clusterfuck. I'm sorry, but that didn't need to be that difficult. Didn't need to be that difficult. It looks like our priest is getting hit by the little ads there. He's gonna have to die, and then yeah, he's just gonna die and or just die. Or did he shadow meld? He's a Drac there. He can't shadow meld. And somebody walked up and pulled these. Release. I mean, people are just clueless. Like they have zero awareness. First, the body pull itself is stupid, and body pulling while our priest is dead, and probably the paladin is trying to res him. I don't know. I don't know, man. It feels like people are not actually paying attention and are looking at Netflix on the other monitor. That being said, this is still going to be a 2-star most likely, so, you know, whatever. I need to get some kind of WeakAuras that's going to mark these, or I need to make a macro that's going to put a skull on something that I target or on my current target. That would be good. Oh, I'm pinging Salatath. Salatath, get out of here with your toes. Get out of here. Don't nobody want to see that. And nobody got time for you. But yeah, I think I might make a macro that just does that for me. At least with the emissary, I can still use revenge to get stacks of colossal might. So that's kind of nice. And we're going to use our demolish here on this last mob that's still here. Perfect. I just got avatar back up so we can use that and do the maximum amount of damage. Not too shabby. Last boss is here. I'm going to use my thingy thing, like the frontal, to keep breaking the big barrels, because the DPS, I don't know, they are doing mechanics, so I can't blame them too much. But I will try to break 2 boxes here, or two of the big barrels, because the big barrels cause dots to happen, and those dots can be a bit of an issue for people. See, it's telling me to spell reflect. This WeakAuras doesn't make sense to me. It's telling me to spell reflect, but I don't need to spell reflect right now. There is a frontal again. I'm not going to break anything with this one because we already have dots from the previous break, and there's going to be one final one. The big barrel here behind me. Paladin does not give a single fuck about what to do with that, but I'll break the final big barrel with my stuff. And we're just gonna, well, that's gonna be a bit of an issue, but not a big deal. Okay, we have Avatar. We don't have Demoralizing Shout, but I'm not gonna get it anytime soon, so I'm just gonna spend my 10 stacks and activate Avatar. Okay, big dome is here. We're gonna try and be in the big dome. Not that I need to. Okay, Paladin's dead again. I'm not spending another 1,000. I should probably spend another 1,000 gold on the Paladin. All right, where are you? You're right on top of me. Please don't take it right now. Okay, he didn't take it. Good. And I managed to take care of 2 big barrels, so that's something. We're moving here just because there's not going to be any waves coming through here. The next frontal I do should not break anything. Actually, it can because nobody else activated anything. I'm going to rally here. So we have the dots from the circle on top of the dot that I just caused. Bro, it's not about breaking as many barrels as you can. It's about breaking the big barrels. I guess I can break that. Whatever. Trying to avoid these. There we go. I'm very scared of those because I've died as DPS to those all the time. So I just don't want to have that happen again. All right. Boss should be dead here. I don't have to do any more breaks myself. Neither should the group. We should just kill the boss before the next thing happens. Or before the next intermission happens. So I'm not going to bother breaking any barrels. I'm just going to stand here in the corner where we're safe from most barrels. And the boss should be dead in just a moment. There we go. Now, if I explained that poorly, the big barrels, when they explode, they put a dot on you. The reason you want to break them before the intermission is all of them will be broken during the intermission. So you don't want the dots to stack up from breaking all the things in the intermission. We got some Cinder Cuffs. I don't really need these Cinder Cuffs. They are better stats though. Crit Haste is better than Haste Mastery for me. So I think I might just use these. I think I will. Yeah. And here we go with Darkflame Cleft on a +8. We have Tyrannical active and Voidbound. I asked the group to stand at the entrance here while I gather the mobs. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're not going to have a whole bunch of threat on these. So I'm going to try and get some. All right. And then we leap here. We're going to Thunderclap again. We're going to revenge these guys and then try to charge back. Okay. We're going to get a lay on hands. Laborers are over here. People are fighting them. I pinged at the start to go stack here, but people don't seem to give a shit what their tank tells them to do. They just want to go hit the mobs. That's okay, and something that I should be used to at this point of the season. We're going to go ahead and use some defensives here. Definitely trying to make sure I stay alive. That's the most important thing. And then we're going to CC everything after this Demolish cast. Using all of my offensives. Can't really see much here. Gonna charge out to these and get some kicks in because the rest of the group sure as won't do it. And here we are. That is pretty much the best way I know of to make this first pull work. I don't know of many other ways to make it less of a pain in the ass. We're gonna go ahead and not stand in that, and then we're gonna kick some more. I am getting punched in the back by the big guy. I did just mute myself on Discord, but it's whatever. You might have heard the sound in the background. It's because I set up a keybind to do so, and now I accidentally press it all the time. That was as clean as I could expect it to be with a Red Paladin in the group, and please take this with all the love in the world. I myself main Red Paladin, so it's not like I'm trying to say this just so I mess with people and be rude about it. I am actually genuinely surprised that there are so many Red Paladins that get upset about that. I made a little like short video about Red Paladins and how they play and brain cells, and people got a little bit upset about that. Now this pull that I did is relatively aggressive, but I think I can make it work. I'm just worried about this patrolling guy doing some more bullshit for us here. Mole Frenzy did go out. I am trying to get aggro here. They got tossed into the next group. I'm not a huge fan of that. That is my fault here. I'm going to rally here, try and keep people alive. I'm going to start spell blocking. I'm going to start kicking and moving around. There's not much more I can do here other than potentially make them charge. Oh yeah, I can make them get knocked in that direction. Okay, mess of a pull. I hate the start of this dungeon. I need to do better. I could do better here. I think I got greedy when I combined the big guy with the rest of the pulls. That is just not something I should have done. I think I should have just handled it better. I'm trying to grab all these little mobs and make them move in a direction where they won't body pull the rest of the dungeon, but that is just a bit of a pain in the ass, especially with these casters and lack of kicks by the group. There are ranged kicks not being used to group these. Now it's just melee mobs. I'm going to move over to the mole herd and keep them all stacked up. I don't know how to make this work with... Okay, these guys are going to get knocked away in directions that I don't mind. Mole herd is all the way in the back. We're going to try and line of sight it over here. Now I am finally safe from all the damage. There we go. We managed to line of sight the mole herd. He had to come all the way over here to punch me in the face. That is one thing that I find very surprising. Instead of him picking a different target and throwing rock at it, he will actually go after me. I feel the need to apologize to my group about the quality of these pulls, but I'm going to just act like that was okay and move on with my day. Now I'm going to save my demolish for the first minecart. I'm a little bit worried about us being able to kill it if people don't switch. which sometimes they don't. Rockbuster coming through, bonking me in the back. I think we're just cleaving. Okay, now we're good. A bop did go out on our hunter. I'm not sure 100% why that is the case. Maybe they were just taking a bit too many stacks. We're sending the charge through in that direction and getting hit by, by the minecart. Okay, not our best performance. I'm gonna try and keep this in the earthquake, I guess. Here comes another minecart. Luckily, it's right on top of us, so we don't have to move too much. I can get a demolish out onto it, which should take care of it quite handily. I don't like the position I'm in right now. I'm going to move over to the person that's focused so we can kill some of these ads that are on it. 13 stacks on Get in the Bin, which is a amazing name, by the way. We're baiting the charge in a God knows which direction. Yeah, we're sending it that way. That's okay. I'm going to try and make the boss come back to where we were because it just doesn't make any sense for me to fight it over there. And I'm looking for where the next minecart will appear. My job as a tank is to basically live and pull the boss to the minecart. There's not much more I can do other than potentially kite the boss around if a melee is focused by the flame, so that these things get put into whatchamacallits. Get put on the tracks. I targeted the wrong thing. Instead of the minecart, I targeted the boss, but that's okay. We should be able to kill it still. Ooh, I just got smacked by that. It doesn't matter I'm the tank, but I should have paid more attention to where the minecart was going. But yes, I can... If the melee is being targeted by the like fixate debuff, what I can do is I can drag the boss across the tracks so that the little goblins follow... Not goblins, kobolds, dumbass. Follow the melee DPS, which will follow the boss, and then get hit by the little carts that come through. All right. Pleasantly surprised, our Holy Paladin is healing the bejesus out of us and doing really, really well. From my understanding, Holy Paladin's not doing too hot this season, but I think Holy Priest ended up being even worse. So Holy Priest got buffs on abilities nobody wants to use, so that's interesting. We're going to go ahead and just use or demolish here once I finally stack up everything I wanted to stack up. There we go. We managed to get it during our damage amp from Demoralizing Shout because we run a talent that makes it a damage amp. Oh, I got bonked. This is not good. Need to move immediately because I'm scared of the rest of the bonks just following up and chaining on me. All right. Looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and just double pull these big guys because it's not fortified, so I really don't care about the AoE they do. And I think even unfortified, you can kind of get away with pulling these guys. That's my understanding. Take this with a grain of salt. I am a person who has done 10s, and nothing higher than a 10 this season. Okay, so far so good. I'm feeling good. Bonk goes out. I move over and then cast my Demolish, which roots me in place while there are no other bonks to worry about. I am slowly but surely moving away. I feel like the bonks have been changed. They used to be in front of the one that's casting them, but now they're underneath the one that's casting them. It's a little bit weird. I could just be misunderstanding it. I don't know. I'm gonna let them rip this thing to shreds while I go and group the rest of this. There is an affix coming in. I'm going to have to focus in on that once I can. Need a shield block up. Need another taunt. I'm just going to throw it on it. I'm going to AoE taunt this thing, make it move in, CC everything. They're all going to be buffed because all the DPS absolutely completely ignored the affix. I love that. I love that for us. That's so good. Because, you know, more nameplates over here, so we got to focus that. I'm not going to bother spending anything on these. I will send defensive cooldowns, but I'm not going to hit them until that debuff or buff expires, which is now. So now I can use all of my offensive buffs, all of our offensive abilities to take these out. We're going to use this Demolish during our buff from Avatar and the debuff from Demoralizing Shout, not Strike, what? And that will do a considerable amount of damage. A lot of people probably blew their cooldowns into this while the affix buff was up, which means the enemies take reduced damage. I think it's 50% reduced damage, which is significant. Now, our paladin friend is drinking, so I think we're okay here. I'm trying to build up some rage so that I can do my thing. As a tank, there's really not much for you to do here other than hope that your group knows what they're doing and to whatchamacallits, hold aggro and stand in melee range. Just make sure you're standing in melee range. That's all you need to do. There's literally nothing else. This boss is extremely boring for tanks. I am not going to break any of these. We just want to break one because that'll reduce the number of dots. We're going to rally here because there's going to be an AoE that goes out. Actually, I'm stupid. I rallied at the wrong time. I should have rallied when that was coming out. We do have CRs available as we have two red paladins. Or we have two paladins, not two red paladins, sorry. But you know what I meant. I'm trying to get executes out on this thing. This thing needs, guys, come on. Focus up. Hit the damn affix. Okay, there we go. We got it. We hit the affix enough for it to go away and leave us alone. So that is wonderful. Dousing Breath coming through. That's big AoE, but luckily we handled it just fine. And now we have Avatar, so we're just going to send our Demolish anyway. I don't have to have Demoralizing Shot for it. It's 30 seconds away. I'm better off getting another Demolish in than trying to get that cooldown down. I do get less cooldown on it every time I Thunderclap, so that's nice. But for the most part, I should just send it if I have to wait for a long time for that. And I think it even increases the cooldown reduction for each of the thingy things with the stuff stuff for each target that I hit. Now I do need my Ignore Pain back up. There we go. I was taking significantly more damage because of the lack of Ignore Pain. These circles are misleading. Like you try to stand between them, but that's not how that works. You gotta find the place where there are no swirlies at all in a line. And that's where you go then. So I've been baited by those swirlies on instinct a few too many times. So I understand when people kind of mess up on it. We're going to stand inside of the boss to avoid... Oh, never mind. That's the wrong AoE. I thought those were the little tornadoes. I'm so out of it, bro. This is my first dungeon of the day, and I'm immediately jumping into a +8 of a dungeon that I think this is my least done dungeon this season. And not because I don't like it. I thought I wouldn't because of the minecart, but for the most part, I've been kind of enjoying it. Especially now that they've nerfed it. And it's, see, this is where you want to stand in the center because you won't get hit by the tornadoes. Never mind, I lied. I got hit by the tornadoes, it looks like. But I think I'm okay. Anyway, I do kind of enjoy this dungeon. It's not that bad. Incite Flames going out. Again, this person almost got baited because they were like, oh, this is between the circles, right? But no, you gotta find a place that's completely clean. Very well healed by our paladin friend. 1,000,000 HPS for this boss. Well done, Examisiu. I don't know what to call it. I don't know how to read that. My apologies. Hopefully I'm not offending them if they end up watching this, which more and more people have started noticing, like, hey, aren't you that lad guy? Which is absolutely insane to me that I'm being recognized. But hey, it's kind of nice. It means people are having me at least pop up on their feed on YouTube. And as someone who's trying to make this work as a full-time job, that is more than welcome. I'm not going to ignore this because last time we did that, we had some issues. I want this thing to die before we pull anything else because I do not trust my DPS to actually hard switch to it. And with the current changes that they've made to it, you kind of have to hard switch to it, otherwise you won't kill it on time. I'm going to Spell Reflect because I think everything's basically casting at me. Unfortunately, they didn't sync up the cast times, so that is a little bit of a bummer. But we have a full stacks of Demolish and everything, so we're going to go ahead and just use it. And there we go. Sending out all of our other cooldowns. We're just going to do as much damage as we can in this pull. Looks like our BM Hunter is struggling a little bit. I think our BM Hunter was the person that was... Oh, well, never mind. I think our BM Hunter was the person that was being targeted by the chokehold. Bops could have been used there to get them out of the chokehold. You can use Bop. Oh, okay. There we go. What? How did they get out? What did they do to get out of that? I'm confused. How does one... They didn't use Bubble. They didn't use Bop. America, please explain. I'm confusion. I don't get it. How did they get out? That's crazy, actually. I'll take it, though. It's whatever. We're going to go ahead and just, I don't know, single target this thing to death. I don't like these mini bosses. They last a little too long. And then we have to go deal with the Candle King, which for some reason, the Candle King feels like the same as... the Muffin Man. I don't know. We have the buff now. We are going to drag the Candle King over to the ranged DPS. We have an Elemental Shaman and a BM Hunter. I'm throwing weapon. I'm making it come over to the ranged DPS. Why? Because if people are stacked, the little thingies are stacked, the statues. And if the statues are stacked, then you don't have to worry about people clearing enough with their circles. With 3 circles, this should be very easily clearable if people decide to sacrifice their DPS. With 2 ranged DPS, we should have no issues whatsoever dealing with this. Now I'm going to move away so that the wax from that does not affect us on these next ones. Range can sort of deal with it in the background. I don't really care. But if melee has to run out to put the circle on that, it's kind of a pain in the booty hole. Ideally here, what you would do with pickaxes is to take off the ones that can only be targeted by, like, that require you to target them with a specific circle. So if there's 2 clumped up, you don't want to take out one of those with the pickaxe. You want to use something else, like a circle. But if there's just one here that you can't target with anything else, you want to make sure to take it out with a pickaxe like this. This is perfect. I didn't move, so we have some wax issues here. We did manage to get the fear off. Our Holy Paladin, I would assume, is going out over there to take care of this circle. He's healing all the while he does it. New eerie molds. I'm being stupid and looking at how people are taking care of things instead of just going and... Oh, there's a pickaxe on me. I'm going to try and take care of this one over here. That is beautiful. And now somebody needs to kick. Beautiful. And I charge over and beautiful. We finally took care of that one. I don't know if we're going to make it work for that one. Blondie over here is being a true blonde and not doing anything useful with her circle. But that's okay. I think Blondie might be a little bit new from the movement and from everything else that they're doing. It does feel like they are a tiny bit new at this. We're going to move the Candle King away from all the wax. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to use some defensives here. I kind of mismanaged my health bar a little bit. We're starting to get more and more of these. Actually, I think we finally managed to take care of most of these. I am really hoping that this pickaxe does hit the oh, good, it did. That's very good. And he's gone, so we're gone. Get me out of here. The Muffin Man has been defeated. I'm gonna wait for everyone to make it down here so they don't have to run to catch up. Paladin does Paladin things and steps into the circle anyway. All right. He says, well played, tank. Oh, thank you. Wow, this Paladin's being nice to me. But yes, what our job is here is to make sure we pull as much as possible, to kill as much as possible at the same time, so that we don't have to stop when we keep pulling enemies. Now, I'm having some issues with aggro here. We're going to AoE taunt, and I'm going to pull this creeper and the rest of these little guys, and we're going to fight the creeper and the little guys over here. Once the little guys die, we're going to move over to the other side to make sure that the creeper is not being buffed up by the corpses. See, he has this 5-stack, 7-stack buff, but if we move over to this side, he loses that buff because he's being buffed up by the corpses of the enemies. And now he only has 1 stack of the buff because of this shuffling horror corpse, but we don't really care about that. We can just move on from that anyway. We're moving left. We're going to expand the flame here. It looks like we have to fight these 4 enemies, but none of them are big creepers, so we shouldn't have too much trouble. If we prioritize this horror's health bar, okay, apparently the minecart's just like, nah, I'm good. We keep going. This is a little bit annoying because I can't do a big pull here, but we're just going to have to deal with it. We're going to CC the horror just to make sure that it doesn't drain the light from our minecart. Circles are coming through. We're going to have to do a smaller pull after this, which annoys me, but I don't like small pulls. I don't like... We want big zug zug. Give big zug zug, please. All right. We're going to demolish this emissary just so we can get a move on. I think the emissary itself does not actually trigger the minecart stopping, so that's nice. We're gonna grab this extra creeper just so we're good on percent, and I'm going to CC everything. I want... Okay, somebody gets the idea and is actually pulling or going and grabbing some candles. We're gonna move away from the corpses again like we were talking about earlier. Beautiful. Would appreciate a slightly bigger circle so I can still keep these guys away from the corpses. Nobody's like, we have 2 ranged and nobody's getting that. One of the ranged did go get the previous candle, but with 57% and the circle's tiny, and I'm forced to get closer and closer to those corpses to be able to keep aggro and do damage. But it worked out. We didn't give them the corpse buff. I'm gonna go ahead and leap over here and grab... Hello? I Goomba stomped that candle and I still didn't get it. I wasted my time going after that candle, and now people don't have a tank over there, which is not good. We're going to taunt this one and head in over there. The darknesses don't do much damage, so it's okay. But that was still a little bit irritating. Shaman recognized the situation and used his stun totem to make sure that these things don't melee the paladin to death, and we good. That was my mistake. I went out to get a candle when I didn't need to, so that is a whoopsie daisy from me, because I guess there's just enough candles along the minecart tracks to not really have to worry about grabbing extra candles from behind us like that. But it all worked out. We are done with the minecart path, and we can just go ahead and start the whatchamacallit, the throw dynamite bit. Let us see if we can win the throw dynamite encounter. Hold on now. When I see it, that's when I throw it. When I see it, that's when I throw it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on, show up, you little shit. There we go. I think someone beat me to the first throw. Now I just have to hope that they miss 1 or 2. Come on now. Beat the bejesus out of it. Beat the bejesus out of it. Keep tossing the dynamite. Hit him with the stick, with the dynamite stick. Come on now. I'm being beaten. I'm being beaten by the Holy Paladin, but the Holy Paladin has been playing out of his mind. So I'm not shamed by this. The Holy Paladin has been doing quite well. He's been keeping me and my dumb ass alive. So that is absolutely very impressive. We are tied. So I'm a nuisance and he's a blessing. So we end up being tied. Apparently, we just bring balance to the universe with 17 throws each. All right, we need 2%, so we have to pull as little as possible here, trying to avoid as many enemies as I can. Taunt these because we're going to have to. AoE taunt for all of these because the Paladin just blasted the bejesus out of the mobs and I wasn't ready for that. I should use something to hold aggro early on. I think I got hit by a couple of those. I'm also having my face chewed off by the creepers. I think there were just multiple things that caused me to take a bunch of damage there that I shouldn't have taken. It was mostly my fault because I probably didn't have shield block up. I could have used shield charge to get it up, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna demolish here to finish off these mobs and we can go. That is a tiny bit over percent because each creeper gives about 1% and the little ones give 0.6, I think, ish. I don't know. They give some small amount of percent. Circle equals get candle. Don't just stand there doing 0 damage. Okay, there we go. I'm just typing that out because in every group I've done so far, a DPS gets the circle and then stands outside of light range. It doesn't go get a candle, which is absolutely pointless. You don't do damage when you're outside of the light. See, get in the bin, got the circle, now he's going to go get a candle because he understands that he's not going to do damage otherwise. When you pick up the candle, ironically enough, you do actually start doing damage again, which is amazing, right? Like, it's almost like the encounter is designed around you going to pick up a candle when you get the circle, right? Who would have thunk it? Anyway, that's all being done. We're going to take a look-see here and see what we can do. Not much. We're going to get feared here in a second. I'm going to use my fear immunity. I'm going to CC everything. People are running out to get the candle. People still don't know that they need to get a candle when the big AoE goes out. We're going to grab the candle, move it over, drop it down, let the DPS do the DPS, let the healer do the healing. I don't need to really do much. I can carry the candle. We're going to go ahead and use all of our offensive cooldowns now because there's not much we need to do for a little while here. And there we go. That is very good. We're blasting right now, beating the unfortunate shaman in DPS and single target because, yeah, this doesn't need nerfs, does it? But to be honest, there are most of the things that are being nerfed aren't actually things that are making us do good DPS here. So that's something. I do believe Colossal Might Stacks are getting a nerf in terms of shield slam damage. So that's something that's potentially going to affect our single target damage. But overall, I feel like it's not really going to change the way we play too much. But that is next week. I don't have to worry about it just now. We're going to rally here just to keep it safe. We're going to get feared. I'm going to use my immunity. Somebody brings over a candle. People still don't know that during that AoE, you absolutely simply have to. You don't have an option. You have to go out and get a candle. It'll drain it fully. So that means you have to go get a candle. Anyway, a little bit of annoying encounter. It's luckily, it doesn't result in a wipe. So it's not a huge issue. But it's just a little bit annoying to get feared. Then again, I am a warrior, so I really don't give a shit about whatchamacallits, about fears. I just use my fear immunity. Hi, Danny. You making some coffee? Yeah, nice. You gonna make it with caramel or cardamom or what?
Caramel.
Caramel, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're just about, well, actually, no, we're not just about done. What percent does this thing end at? Can you tell me?
When it's dead.
It doesn't die, though. That's not correct.
But when it runs away, then it's dead.
Oh, okay. Oh, then it's dead in your eyes when it runs away. Okay, that's good enough.
That's when the key ends.
Okay, but what percent does it run away at, then?
I think like 55 or something.
55? Okay. We're almost done, then.
Sure.
It always feels like it's 2 hours away. I don't know. This boss fight feels like it lasts forever. But then again, uptime is an issue on this boss, so that might be why it feels like it takes forever, because your DPS doesn't get to do as much damage as they potentially could, because they don't understand that picking up a candle is the same as standing in the circle. But hey, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. We have to move the candle a little bit. I try to keep it as close as possible to the line so that people on the other side that are stuck there can still DPS. But that is almost a 2-star. Would have been a 2-star, except for, I guess, 2 deaths and a bit of shitty gameplay from my end, where I didn't pull as aggressively or pulled too aggressively or whatever. Here we go with a floodgate +8. should be okay. Group's looking pretty good. You can see them in the bottom right corner of the screen. Pause if you need to. We're going to try and skip as much as we can here. I would like to target this. I'm trying to get some aggro here. We're going to knock them all. I'm going to revenge. Yeet myself into here. Shield wall while I get all of my stuff. And there we go. That should be just about everything. Use champion spear here. Going to use demoralizing roar, shout, whatever. And it's time to just spam. Spam the damn. Just spam Thunderclap, I think, is the whole build. Elitist helper coming up from our friend here, which is super cool. We're gonna go ahead and quickly ignore this person. There we go. I don't like people who use Elitist helper like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yes, so far, Thunderclap build, very simple, very effective. Love to see it. We're gonna go down this side. I'm gonna let somebody else click while I go and gather some mobs. Okay, we're gonna charge the contractor so I don't root the surveyor so he can keep moving with me. And we're gonna yeet something at that person, taunt this group, and we should be a-okay here to start sending our cooldowns. I do have AoE taunt if necessary. I do seem to be keeping aggro. That has been interrupted. I leaped over to try and interrupt it immediately, but it worked out. It looks... I kind of like this. I kind of like this. I don't have to think... Like, just my core rotation actually does all the damage, and I'm doing okay damage. It's not like I'm doing, like, way less damage or something like that. I'm actually really enjoying this build and setup. Maybe this is something that's for me. It's a little bit simpler than the big old demolishes coming out. And we also get extra slams, extra shield slams, which works really well with our tier set. And I'm really enjoying that. All right, we're gonna go into these, taunt this, yeet something at them, and we're just dealing with the snipers here. That's what we're focusing on with the snipers. We're gonna drop champion spear, trying to get aggro here on everything, making sure I kick this, inspector leaping over to somebody over there, and now we actually can send all of our cooldowns. I should have sent my cooldowns sooner to be able to generate aggro a little bit better. We're gonna stormbolt that one. There we go. Lots of these swirlies coming out. It's something I should handle by stopping the reload a little bit better, but we're managing to get through just fine. Okay, there we go. The DPS honestly feels better. I think I was just not good at playing the Demolish build, or Colossus I should say. So that's probably the reason why why I had issues with it. But I think I like this build. It could also be just that these pulls are big, because this dungeon has some pretty beefy pulls. All right, let's get aggro on all of these ads. We're gonna drag to the corner here and want a demoralizing shout. Okay, that tank buster actually does hurt quite a bit, so I got to be a little bit more careful with that. But we're gonna focus up here a little bit. Lust was used on the first pull, which is understandable. The first pull is relatively big. You have the shredation guy, so you want to make sure that dies immediately. The circle is going to come out soon, if I'm not mistaken. No, Electro Crush goes out first. I should be okay. I have everything pretty much ready to go. Ads are nearly dead. We have cooldowns ready. I'm going to use just about everything here. Spear, shield slam the bejesus out of this guy. Make sure we beat the crap out of him. Also want to use this and Thunderous Roar and this. There we go. Editing Vlad's gonna be real happy about me calling everything this, so he has to edit those things in, but we're gonna make it work. Now I should be moving. I'll move a little bit now. I want to get them. Can I spell reflect that? I can't spell reflect that. Okay, never mind. It's just a magic damage tank buster, of course, because what else? What other damage would it be? If it was physical damage, it probably wouldn't even hurt at all, so I understand. Very much enjoying this build, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just thunderclapping to win feels pretty dang good. I don't have to worry about, oh, hey, do I have 10 stacks of Colossus? Do I need to be spamming Revenge to get the stacks back up? I don't have to do any of that. I'm gonna charge over. Ah, Jesus Christ, CR me quickly, otherwise this is gonna go south very fast. I'm trying my damnedest to kick that. Nobody else is kicking. Guys, you have kicks available. I storm bolted that one out of pure frustration. I'm trying just to get some way of interrupting it. The fact that nobody wanted to interrupt that ad felt insane to me, and I got electro crushed from behind, and that didn't feel that great. Okay, well, that was my fault, though. I didn't trust the group to kick, which I think may have been kind of the right call, because it looks like the other one also managed to get some casting done. All right, let's spear a couple of these, taunt one, a heroic throw, and let's get back to this. Electrocrush comes out. We're going to use... I think it came just as all my active mitigation was falling off, which that's kind of irritating, but we'll make it work. Definitely struggling with these tank busters a little bit because it just kind of hurts a whole lot. Let's get Avatar back up and demoralizing shout. Somebody actually kicked this time. Beautiful. we have everything active and rolling here, so I don't take as much damage from that shield or electro crush. It looks like we're looking to finish off the boss here. Need that shield block back up. Distortion goes up and gets kicked immediately by yours truly, and we're going in for the next thing right away. Gizmo is drinking, Gizmo being our healer. There we go. Beautiful. Thunderous Blast is up, which means we might get some shield slam spam in here, which is great for our tier set, which is currently procced. Beautiful. Let's use a bit of a self heal. That gets interrupted, so I didn't use my or spell reflect. Just whatever. I'll use a spell reflect now. Reflect some of that damage. Beautiful uptime on the shield. That's just sick. Thunderblast coming in strong with the shield block resets. Or not shield block, but shield slam resets. I'm just staring at my WeakAuras a little bit right now, which is maybe not the best call, but it's not a huge deal either. I'm going to separate this into 2 separate pulls because I don't trust myself otherwise. We're going to put a spear down in case the loader bots go after someone in the background. They've wound up and they're moving towards someone, but the spear keeps them in place. There's also a binding shot down, so they can't get away from that. That's beautiful. Very well executed by the group here. But yeah, I don't know. First impressions on this build, pretty damn solid. Really liking it. Although I do need to kind of maybe consider switching my priority for a violent outburst. So this talent that when I use 250 rage, my next shield slam or thunderclap does 200% damage, or is it 200% extra damage? So far I've been using that for shield slam only because it just feels like the most effective damage into prio mobs and whatnot. So maybe I should switch that over to Thunderous Blast if that's the case, like if I have the ability to do that, in the sense of if it's worth it. I have to check and like test on the training dummies or something to really find out, but we're gonna find out and we're gonna put it to use if that's the case. All right, this group's just about dead. I'm gonna go this way and I'm gonna ping where we're going, just so that people know, because sometimes people want to go here and that just pulls a bunch of crabs and we don't want to have to deal with that. So we're going to pull this here. I am rooted, which is okay. We want to kill the scaffolding and then move into the next group anyway. There's the scaffolding. We're going to leap over. Thunderous Clap, or Thunderclap. What am I even talking about? We're going to Thunderous Roar, send all of my cooldowns here, and we want to get away from the crabs. I have aggro on this one architect. I'm trying to get aggro back. But I can't seem to do so because people are blasting a little too hard. Then again, I'm doing pretty good damage too. What the heck, man? Whoever says you need to be Colossus to do damage said it wrong. Then again, my sample size for Mountain Thane is literally 1 dungeon so far. Not even a whole dungeon. So maybe I'm just full of shit and should take a look at other runs before I just conclude that this is an easier spec to deal damage with. All right, I do have a bit of extra percent in some of my other pulls, so we're just going to pull a group of surveyors here. I don't think more than that is necessary. I should get out of Tradition. Another one is going to go down here. Never mind, his flamethrowers all around now. I didn't move them enough. I should have moved them a bit more. We're going to interrupt that. The hunter beats us to it. That's all right. I'm going to use a defensive here and try and get my shield block back up. Let us move a bit to the side now for another Shredation. Another Shredation coming out. We're going to move right away. I moved a bit too soon, so I moved the spear or the thing with me, but it's not a big deal. Shield slam this bad boy, then Thunderous Blast. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but it's just kind of worked out that I did not have Thunderous Blast to see just how much damage it would do with the violent outburst. I don't want to send any more cooldowns into this pack because it's almost dead. So we're just going to go ahead and shield slam that bad boy. We have a CR available. We're going to start rezzing regularly, of course, because the combat is over. I'm going to try and focus my attention on Bront while trying to stand on top of Quick Fuse. So let's see how that works. We do have Bloodlust in 14 seconds, so we should probably make use of that here. Potentially, we'll see. The group is progressing through this dungeon very, very quickly. The DPS is insanely high. This is not normally. Okay, I gotta keep him on top of her. Big kaboom coming through. Now, I have to keep attention here, pay attention here, and see when this is actually going, like when he's charging me. He's not charging me right now. I don't care. I can't get the Dispel, so I don't care about that. Not charging me right now. I think the third charge charges me. It's on me. We're gonna have to use a Dispel for this last bomb because there's no way to make him line up with that. Dispel goes out. It's on the Hunter. Hunter gets dispelled. Beautiful. All bombs taken care of. Group knows what's up. I'd expect no less. These guys have done the same key level. And I'm assuming they did it this week with Tyrannical, so that is to be expected that people know what's going on, because you kind of have to pay attention during Tyrannical on boss fights. Knock up takes care of 3 bombs. Amazing knock up. Let's see, where does the Demon Hunter take it? We're gonna rally. It was not enough. Never mind. Rally's on cooldown. No, it's not. I used rally. Last charge coming through, taking care of 1 bomb. 1 last charge on me. I'm gonna try and not point them at a bunch of people so they don't have to get run over. So I moved him over there because there's no more bombs left. And even if there was a bomb left, we get another dispel after last charge, or around the time of the last charge. So there is that. I need to get that Ignore Pain up. Need to get my shield block up. Let's yeet over to her. What happened to me there? What happened to me? I think I got walloped while I was in the air. So that's a little bit weird. But I think we just stay on the boss now. We don't care about the charges. Charge might kill our friend here if he's not careful. Let us see if we can kill the bosses. Yes, we can. I'm going to go ahead and use the extraction button here while someone takes care of the other thing. We do need to kill this bad boy. Try and get that buff for us. I'm going to execute it. Shield slam with the thing. We are now out of combat. Hunter's going to take care of that. I'm going to start setting up the pull for the divers. We're going to do 2 packs of divers, and they're lined up perfectly. Okay, beautiful. Let's charge in, get some more. There we go. Okay, nice. I don't want to use spear here, but I will use other cooldowns. I really like this build. It takes some of the cognitive load off of managing my stacks, which for a puny ret main puny brain ret paladin main like me, that is a lot of coggy load. But with a group like this, honestly, everything seems pretty dang easy. All right, let's try and get all of these grouped up. They seem to be linked. We're gonna spear them. We're gonna spear them. We're gonna spear them eventually. I don't have rallying cry here. I need shield block. I'm not the one who's in trouble here. So blinds are coming out. We're gonna kick some. Jettison kelp. Let's see. There's gonna be a jettison kelp coming up soon somewhere. We do have a blood elf which removed all the buffs, I think. We're gonna stun this jettison kelp. We're gonna knock up this one. Oh, I don't have knock up anymore. Never mind. It's just a stun now. Getting more kicks in. Well handled by the healer here. Well handled by the healer. I'm gonna do some damage to the emissary. Stuns go out on everything. Beautiful. Okay. Didn't handle that the best. I could have used more CC sooner, but it all works out. We have 7 minutes left on fatigue, so it's gonna be probably for the last boss. Honestly, with the speed that we're doing this at, I think we're okay. Boss is gonna hop in here and be right on top of us, so I gotta be careful. I gotta make sure I'm the one that's closest to his hitbox, because I have seen people die to literally just standing too close and taking aggro, like taking body pull aggro right off the bat. There we go. Let's immediately just get as much of our stuff in as possible. I am paired to a friend here. Everybody knows that they need to go to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. Even the healer is moving left with us, just to remove any confusion in case somebody goes down. Healer does have a little bit more freedom here. We're going to move to the left a little bit more here to avoid these waves coming through. We're avoiding the waves. The waves. You wave as they go by. Yes, very good. Sorry, my English is great sometimes. We got to move to the left here just to stack back up with everyone. I need to get my shield block back up. There we go. We move to the left again, as we discussed in our strategy meeting, which we did not have. I need to use a defensive here outside of my standard toolkit because I am just struggling to get rage for some reason. I just wasn't really focusing, so I couldn't figure out what I should be using to get that rage. I still have a bad habit of spamming revenge when I don't really need to, so that's something I should probably break. So far, so good. That really hurt. We're going to use a impending victory to make sure that we survive here by removing that heal absorb. We're going to taunt the emissary, make it move over towards us. Hello, emissary. Hello. Yes, thank you. Very nice. Thank you for joining us. We're going to move to the right this time around. Person with me has the same idea. Okay, we're paladin down, but we should be okay here. We don't have a CR, unfortunately, so we're going to have to just kind of wing it here. I moved to the right, even though everyone says move to the left. Kid came into the room sitting on my lap, a little distracted. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. That's okay. It's an early Sunday kind of problem to have. Early Sunday morning. Well, it's not even early Sunday, it's noon on Sunday. So right though, our Paladin was our lowest DPS, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just means the healer is going to have to heal through more of these intermissions. I'm trying to... Oh, shit. Okay. Sludge Claw's coming through, so I'm going to use a shield wall here because I wasn't full HP to just handle it, to man mode it. All right, we got to move to the left. People are kind of yoinking each other together, but when they do manage to live, that was a little bit messy. I feel like we're a bit too close to that side, and I don't know what to do about it. We're going to move away to the left, and we're going to use a rallying cry here just to make sure that this is a little bit smoother for our healer. Trying my best to avoid these waves. I kind of parked us in the middle of all of it. We're bleeding members here, but I think we should be okay. One person won't get the pull together thing, and it's me, which is kind of shit. You were doomed by placement. My apologies if I placed you in a bad spot here, Demon Hunter, but I think we got this. 45 million, I think we can do it. We're going to run across the room here to stay away from those waves as much as possible. Ooh, it looks like we lost another person. That's okay. We're not bound to the priest right now. Sludge Claw's coming through. We should be able to live that just fine and recover with a impending victory. We are bound to our friend here, but that's okay. I think we can handle the last 30 million HP. I don't have a CR for a good long while now, but we're going to send our cooldowns here, and I think we got this. We're going to have to move to the right healer because otherwise we're going to get screwed by these waves right here. Healer is dipping low. He did die now. It's all down to me for the last 15 million HP. We're going to try and get these shield charges out. We're going to use big defensives here and then bounce back with some self-healing. Trying to get these shield slams out. I didn't get them out during the thing. Mr. Warrior, you got this. They believe in me. They believe. Execute's coming in and big. I'm just going to give him a smiley face. That boss still sucks, even after all the changes. It is still a bitch. It's just that you have to dodge very dangerous projectiles while also healing a shit ton, which makes it difficult for the healer. I'm going to ping here so we all stack up these bubbles. Our healer is drinking. Let's go. We all stack up for the first set of bubbles. First set of bubbles is about to go down, and then we're going to move over to the other side. There we go. That keeps it nice and safe and simple. You just stack and you should be good. Now, I can use a spell reflect here to reflect the first stack of the dot onto bubbles, or deflect. I'm not sure which one it is. But now we're waiting for the next set of bubbles, and then we're going to jump over to the side as soon as we can, like so. Make sure everyone's nice and safe. If we just keep stacking, it's really not that difficult. You can very easily avoid the bubbles that Bubbles puts out. Another spell reflect's going to reflect one of the stacks of the dot, and it should be very nice. Now, I do have Spear up. I'm probably going to try and save Spear for the inspectors coming up in the next pull. And we move over just a little bit and we should be okay. I'm going to just eat this so people have a safe time getting through here. Perfect timing here. We're going to try and do this. AoE taunt and get my defensives up. Beautiful. Love it if people actually... Oh, hold on. I need to actually put down the spear. Put down the spear. There we go. Spear is down. Inspector will get yoinked back when it jumps over. Not if I stun it and it doesn't jump before that. Dang it. I stunned it. I'm so stupid sometimes. I stunned it and then it didn't jump over because it was stunned, even though the ability was off cooldown. And then the spear ran out while they were stunned and it all just went to poop. But it's okay. We're making quick work of this room. Making quick work of this dungeon in general. We're just blasting through it, and I love to see it. I'm going to charge in, put up a stack of shield block, not shield wall. Get that ignore pain going, and now we can just rotate through it. We should have a, whatchamacalls, thingy with the stuff. What is this thing called? Violent Outburst was ready right there at the end. That's what I was trying to talk about. Oh man, I still don't know all the names of these abilities when I'm trying to commentate fully like I do right now. But we're making it work. People effectively avoiding the surprise inspections. You don't want none of that. Hitting you, it's kind of a bad time. I should be overlapping my, what is this thing called? Demoralizing Roar and my Thunderous Roar all the time because they have the same cooldown right now. But we'll see how that works out. We want to get some kicks in on this, get that shield block up. Beautiful. Use all of our offensives. I'm going to drop a spear down on them. I could avoid them, but they're just casting, so I don't really care about avoiding them. Spark Slam going down. I'm going to hold cooldowns here. I want the next group to die that little bit faster because they're kind of rough. We might be missing some percent here. I was trying to err on the aid of... stay on the side of caution. That's what I was trying to say. And so we have percent low. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to not overpull earlier, and some of the skips I did definitely cost us a bit of time here, but we're going to be okay. We have some things to pull still in this area, so We should be okay. I'm going to rally here just to keep us safe, even though it might be useful for the next area. There isn't a huge amount of AoE there. It's just some spot healing between two targets mostly is what the biggest amount of healing is required for. A Disc Priest should not struggle, I think, on just the big damage rampy sort of section in the sense of during the intermission. So let's go do boss first. We have Lust available and everything, and then there might be a way to teleport back out. Somebody ran in and activated the boss. I can appreciate that. And you know how I said I was saving my cooldowns for that pull? I didn't use them for that pull, so now I have them for this. Either that or they were back up by the time we were ready for for this. So I don't know which one it is. You can make fun of me in the comments for it. I don't know. But my biggest challenge is right here, surviving this tank buster. This tank buster is absolutely brutal. So I'm going to be rotating defensives for it. We're going to use our trinket this time around. There we go. Trinket makes quick work of it. This person should move away so we don't get zapped. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's see where the orbs spawn in. We have plenty of pools to choose from because none of them were electrocuted, unlike the last time that happened. I'm just going to yeet myself over here, and I think that should take care of these. Now, there's no way for me to end up in the water back there. Trying to avoid this spark. We're going to demoralizing shout him for this thunder punch, along with a fresh ignore pain. That keeps me relatively safe. Let's heal up a little bit here. Trying to get that ignore pain going. There we go. I should be okay. He jumps over to the side of the room. I'm going to try and get over to him. Beautiful. Was able to do so. Now I have time to freely just damage him while the Disc Priest keeps us alive through the pulsing AoE. I don't have to worry too much about that pulsing AoE. For me, it's more about just waiting to get smacked again. We'd have 2 stacks of shield wall. I think that's enough to get us through the rest of the fight for all the thunder punches. Thunder punch is going to come up here. Long ass cast, should be okay. Didn't have ignore pain, so I didn't cushion it as much as I would like to, but the shield wall did keep us safe through that. Demoralizing shout is up. We're going to use all of our defensives. The Demon Hunter could have used the defensive here. We're going to go over here and see how we can make that work. There is a Thunder Punch coming out soon. We do have a shield wall for it. We're going to freshen up this shield wall and we should be okay. This, I think, is the best way to handle this. Person has to step away. I think Rally can be used maybe for the next intermission. I think that'll be the way to do it. We have to run a little bit around the side, but so far this seems like the best way to do so. I'm going to use, well, Rally for this intermission is not going to happen because it happened too soon, and I don't think we need it by the end of it. Yeah, I now have Rally, but we're almost done and people look healthy, so we're gonna go ahead and set up some defensives here. I do have another shield wall available thanks to the CDR we have on shield wall, so let's see. We're gonna block this thunder punch with it. I do have the trinket available as well. I should be very safe here. I'm gonna use the trinket just to keep myself perfectly safe. So this is your job as a tank here. Our Demon Hunter did go down. I think he gets to release. Can we talk to this guy to get teleported out? I think we use this, or people want to pull stuff over there. Okay, never mind. I'm going to go with them. Never mind. There's a way to get to the entrance from there, and I figured that would be easier than running here. 2 casters here enough? Okay, let me grab that feather. Thank you. That is not enough, but we're going to run over to here. There's a bunch of contractors here and a bunch of casters. Just send all of your cooldowns and we should be okay. I'm going to rally here. People are dying. We do have CRs. I should try to stun these as much as I can. Just need big cooldowns and big heals here. People need to use defensives. Oh, this is a Holy Priest, not a Disc Priest. I just talked about him earlier about being a Disc Priest. It didn't really work. Probably not my best pull of all time. Really trying my best to make sure that this caster doesn't get as many things out as possible, but there's so many casters here. We need more interrupts. We need more need more everything. Need more Jesus. Stuns are coming through again. That's good. I'm going to shockwave them right now. Okay. These lightning bolts are hurting pretty bad. We have stuns coming out as well on our players because we can't manage the dispel spam. There we go. I am so sorry. Usually I have over percent, so I overcorrect. I'm just telling people that I usually have over percent, so I overcorrected. It could have been a 2-star if I hadn't messed that up. That was my bad. The routing was my bad, and the choice of pull there at the end was also my bad. I think we could have avoided the electricians and just pulled the group in the back, and it would have been a lot safer. And this is literally the best thing I could have gotten from this dungeon, which is this cloak with haste. I really needed a cloak with haste because mine has only crit verse, and I freaking love this. So we have a new cloak. So that's a nice upgrade. And here we go with a +10 Rookery, actually. I got invited to it. You can see the group in the bottom right corner of the screen. The healer is 642, but has cleared plus 10s quite effectively. We're going to go ahead and charge into this group, get our shield block up, get everything up, charge in over here. That person's already too close for my liking. We're going to go ahead and kick this. They're evading because they're targeting that person over there. We're going to CC here. Hopefully nobody gets hit by that. It looks like nobody did. We're going to drop all of our cooldowns. Start doing some actual damage here. My goodness. Okay. Grouping them was a little bit of a pain in the ass because people didn't wait for me to actually go to the other side and get that done. But we should be okay here. I am kind of dropping down a little bit lower than I'd like. They have to move. I can't. Evading. It's evading, bro. I can't do anything if you guys don't move. Get off of there. This guy is evading. I can't hit him. That's not great. I can't. There we go. Okay, that sorted it out. We only had to waste a minute here. That's great. I couldn't get aggro on that because it was evading, because it was trying to get to them, but it can't get to them. Now we're going to have to waste a little bit more time here because of the emissary, but that's okay. Well, I'm kind of happy that I managed to survive that first pull, even though it was pretty big. I think I see why people lust that now, because honestly, it does take a while if there's a person evade bugging one of the mobs, but that's okay. They weren't doing it intentionally. They just didn't understand when I pinged them 42 times. We're going to look for a safe-ish pull here. We're going to have 3 of these Thunderers. We do have the spells available, and we're going to grab these guys now. I have to try and survive here with as much resources as I can. Healer's kind of struggling. We're going to go ahead and spell block, try and get something out of my kit, but there's literally not much I can do here. Last stand is going to get activated. I'm going to try and CC everything. Of course, the red paladin, who was weird and aggressive during the start of the pull, is not using their kick. They have finally used their kick. I can use mine. These are dead, and we are okay. 2 people did go down. Energized barrages hitting our druid, but he seems to be able to get through it. That even rhymes, so you know it's true. Okay, well, maybe not the safest pull apparently, but we're gonna wait before we pull anything else, because otherwise we will run into issues here. We're just waiting to see that this group gets avoided. Okay, I'm gonna wait for them to patrol a bit closer. We're soothing so that we can get closer. Still soothing. I'm gonna charge into the Thunderer, kick him, and then move over to the other group. Let's get our shield charge out. I don't know. I kind of need a little bit of health. It feels like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just underutilizing my defensives, but I seem to have good uptime on everything. I'm just getting my ass whooped here, and I don't know why. Maybe I don't have atonement on me or something. I don't know what the case is here, but I definitely need some Jesus. We're gonna use our big absorb trinket, try and get another kick in. I can't because I don't have it back up yet. Our hunter might be able to help us here. We managed to kick the Thunderer. The Thunderers are what's gonna kill your group here. Like, if you don't kick the Thunderers, that's what you die to. So far, only 2 deaths. Localized storm coming out, healer handling it just fine, blasting the bejesus out of the Void Rider and getting us there safely. Now I'm going to jump over to this side, try and pull the Thunderer here, hope for a ranged kick, and hope that it doesn't social aggro. That is good. Very nice. The Moralizing Shout, and then Demolish comes out. I should have maybe used Demolish just a little bit later in order to get actual, what's it called? Oh my god. I am just struggling at this point. To get Avatar. Avatar was almost off cooldown. I could have used one more rage using ability and it would have gotten it off cooldown, but this is alright too. The patrol is taken care of. We might be able to pull this into next because the Void Rider just has so much HP. So much HP. We're doing some serious damage, it feels like, but the group, I don't know, I feel so unsafe myself. Like, I just don't feel like I'm safe, and that makes me scared. There's no one who cares about stealth or anything like that, so we're just gonna take this into next. I think we're gonna take that as well and just get on there. Ooh, I need a revenge for that aggro right there. We're gonna kick this. Purges need to come through from the priest, and trank shots from whoever the hell. From the hunters in Ethos, but I think we're okay here. Yes, I have stabilized. We're gonna go ahead and use some offensive cooldowns and demolish. There we go. Trying to get kicks in, failed my kick, but I do have some CC. CC will work as well. CC will work. See, more stuns, more dots, and we're making it through. First room of trash cleared. I'm a little scared for the second, like after first boss trash, but we'll see how that ends up working out. These are almost dead healers at 86% mana because they're a disc priest. They don't really use mana. I'm just gonna group this boss up over here on this concrete part of this whole thing, because if you're on the concrete, you don't have to move. If you're on the metal parts, you will have to move. So I may as well just position him right here. All right, first boss, pretty dang easy. We don't have to worry too much about anything. There's no overwhelming damage or anything. You just got to move in the correct direction, and that is an easy enough manageable task. Hell, even this red paladin's doing it. All right, we are again able to stand on the concrete part, so I'm not going to bother too much with moving or anything like that. I'm going to stand close to the edge here and just start dropping some of my cooldowns. I have demoralizing shout is coming up in a second here, and we have demolish at the same time at 10 stacks, so that's beautiful. We can get some good damage out there. Significantly better single target damage on the demolish build, that's for sure. Definitely much more powerful in single target, because Mountain Thane doesn't really do well with single target. It's more of an AoE kind of thing, because Thunderclap is your damage, or I should say Thunderous Blast or whatever. I don't know what it's exactly called, but the one that procs, not the regular Thunderclap. So naturally it'll just do less when there's only one target, even though lightning strikes are supposed to all hit that target, but lightning strikes are an insignificant portion of the damage there. You get more of your damage out of other things. Now we have another, I think I might just send it into this emissary, which was a mistake because it was moving away from me. I love that. Okay, so I wasted my demolish here, but we should be a-okay here. Either way, that was a huge waste of a demolish. I feel so bad about that. We're gonna reposition over here to make it easy for the melee to get into the right position. Our this priest is standing on the metal bits, but we still have a circle to go through, and then we can move on to the intermission where the bird gets in the middle and we beat the shit out of it. All right, we do have a tier set proc, so we're using that to recover some of our CD cooldown, or to reduce our cooldown on shield charge. Okay, I have demoralizing shout, and I have whatchamacallits. Let me just use it right here now that I'm safe. Oh, it's dead. I wasted another demolish. Cool, that's so good. I'm so good at this game. I was looking at my demolish. I was trying to get use out of it, but that didn't really work out. That's fine. Patrol is looking good. We just skipped past these. There's no reason to pull these two groups, because there's like, you just don't get anything out of it. You just waste time pulling it. There is a whatchamacallit, soothe on them back there, so we're good. I should probably not turn my back to the mobs, but I also don't really give a shit. I'm hoping somebody in the back actually does the thing where they kick the mob so that it moves in, but nobody seems to be doing so. Maybe they just wasted it. I'm gonna rally here. It looks like our priest did go down. There is a lot of damage happening here. They probably got hit by the oracle, who nobody was interrupting. I can't interrupt it because it's really far away from me. I should also focus on living here. We're gonna send some cooldowns, trying to get my ignore pain back up. Now demolish should go out. I want to make sure I execute that emissary, get that extra damage in. It does a good chunk of damage on Prot Warrior. Believe it or not, it's still a really good button to press. It does a lot of damage, but it is a lot of rage, which you might need for other things, so that's something to keep in mind. Trying to keep my ignore pain at a high percentage here, looking at the bar that I just set up with the absorbs. Pretty good. It looks like Clazy made it back to us in time and had no issues doing so, because we took care of the patrol, so it's not like we have to worry about the patrol pulling or anything like that. I did just chain these crushers over into the center with my spear of the champion, but that was just kind of a mistake. I just wanted to use it and make use of it. I'm gonna go ahead and use Thunderous Roar here. Ranged are standing very far away, which makes these guys travel for a long time, so I think what I'm going to do is, once the diffuser is dead, I'm probably going to move on to the next group. This is one thing you can do as range potentially, is stand in a loose nearby to melee, but in a loose stack, so that if you get the circle from the diffuser, you don't overlap with people and cause issues. But it looks like we're good. I'm gonna stick around because the emissary just spawned in, and I really want to make sure that the emissary gets killed. People are kind of ignoring it, it feels like. That's what it feels like for the most part for everything. Pala is being flamed. I've ignored the paladin because he was just really mean. He was just kind of a dick, fitting into the stereotype of Kazakh players always being kind of mean, but that's okay. We moved on to the next group now. I've grabbed an extra crusher just to make sure we're good on count, because crushers don't really do much. Sure, they jump out onto the range, but it really doesn't do all that much damage. I just kind of wasted my kick on that one oracle. We're not going to pull all of these guys into the next group. We're waiting for at least the oracles to die before I let these crushers grab these crushers and go into the next pull. We're gonna, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna, should I pull them into next? I think I should, just to speed up the dungeon a little bit, because we might have to take some slow and short and safe pulls later on. We're gonna put a spear down over here. Probably should use the spear not just to root things in place, but to actually, whatchamacallits. Okay, hold on. I need to focus. I need to reapply all these defensives. There we go. I should probably use the spear for damage and rooting, but mostly for damage because it is a good chunk of damage. There is some utility, like in Darkflame Cleft, you can actually make things work quite well. If we're going to spell reflect that, I should be able to just reflect all of that damage and make sure that nobody in my group takes that damage, which is beautiful. All right, there we go. I think I need to make a differentiation between my 2 seconds remaining and my no, it's not up thing, my reminder for shield block. I just realized that I gave zero context to what I was trying to say, but I do think I need to set up something so I can differentiate between when I don't have it at all and when I have a thingy thing. All right, well, when I have 2 seconds remaining, that's what I wanted to say. We're gonna pull the boss here. I'm not too worried about the damage these guys do. I do manage to maintain aggro there. That's beautiful. 2 seconds until it jumps to somebody else. It did jump to somebody else. I'm hoping the paladin actually goes to somebody else other than me. The drop. Get the fuck away from me, paladin. Jesus Christ. Okay, I can jump to it. I gotta make sure that it's on me. Then I make it jump to the paladin. I should be okay. Okay, I freaked out a little bit there because he was running straight at me because he probably didn't realize that he got it from me. I shouldn't be the one to tank it again then. That's just not something I should be doing. I'm going to get out of this bullshit, the dark gravity, and then he's going to do his little jump over there on the paladin. Well baited by the paladin, probably unintentional, I'm going to assume. But hey, if it was intentional, well done, buddy. All right, the dots are over there. We don't have to worry about it too much. The ranged can take care of it. I'm going to stand close to my friend here who brought it over to me. Then I'm going to try and stand close to the paladin so that the paladin gets it and not the person that was still standing there nearby. Okay, he's doing his little jump. We got to avoid the lines. Dark gravity going out. This is where we spam heroic throw at the boss, because why would melee be able to hit this boss? No, we don't want that. That would be crazy talk right there. We got the tier set to proc, so we're trying to spam as many shield slams as possible to reduce the cooldown on our ability. I'm trying to get close to my friend here so he can drop it onto me, then I can drop it onto whoever. It doesn't even matter. One way to reduce the difficulty of this boss fight is to simply stack as a group, so you can predictably drop off the what are they called, the circles, instead of just covering the entire room with random random circles. We seem to have positioned it well. Chaotic corruption going out. I don't know who it's on, but that's okay. Demoralizing shout, we already have avatar active. That means we can drop our 10 stack demolish. Maybe I should just use demolish on cooldown. I feel like that's what I should do. I can leave it to the paladin to grab or to me to grab, and then I'll put it on the paladin afterwards, or this person that's now closer to me. That's fine too. Let's see if we can get some damage into this emissary. We seem to be able to do so. More shield slams. More! I want more shield slams. The reason I wanted more shield slams was, of course, because I got my tier set the proc, which means I have I reduced the cooldown of my shield charge when I spam that. It looks like that's on this person. I'm going to try and jump over to them so they drop it on me. I don't want to risk it there and lose someone to that bullshit right as we're about to end the boss fight. I think this dies while it's channeling this. I don't think we have to worry about it. There we go. I leapt over just to make sure that I can actually get that and not someone who already had it, because again, that dot is the single most difficult part of the fight, is managing that dot and making sure that the same person doesn't get it twice in a row. Not that they can get it twice in a row, it can't jump to them, but it should not jump back to them, if that makes sense. I'm going to let this cast go through. I'm not going to interrupt it. The next one I will interrupt because it's not on me. If I can spell reflect it, I should let it go through. Now, this is the part where, aside from the second pull you do in the dungeon, basically once you get to the first boss, this is the part where it really matters what you pull as the tank. So it's very important not to, not to feed too many civilians to the Void Stones, if that makes any sense. So the way the Void Stones work once we get down there is they will suck off all the civilians, which doesn't sound like a bad thing, but it is, because it empowers them with stacks of a buff, and that buff determines how much damage they're going to do in the little intermission thing once they reach 40% or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these civilians. I'm going to leap over, grab all these civilians, taunt these crushers, and taunt... I guess I can't taunt that since I just used my taunt, but you get what I mean. We're going to pull all of these, get to work on the crushers. Once all the civilians are dead, that is when we're going to go ahead and pull the Void Stone. Why? Because now these civilian corpses are all the way over there, and he can't get buffed by them. So we're going to go ahead and just go into the next pull. Killing the crushers feels useless. Unless you have a rogue, you really don't give a shit about that. I'm trying to get aggro here. Somebody blasted the bejesus out of them, and that's okay. They should be blasting. Keep blasting, fellas. We moved a little bit further away from these extra civilians here, so we don't want to have to deal. So we don't have to deal with them. We're gonna drop a spear on the crushers to maybe prevent a jump, but I think their cooldown is very hefty. Again, the crushers don't do much. Even the jumps they do, they just don't hurt. Like you'll see it jump onto the priest here, and it did nothing. The priest didn't even have an absorb. It just didn't do anything. Now here's where the priest really has to prove his mettle. He's got 22 stacks on this guy because we didn't absorb that many civilians, and he has to heal us through all of this damage. This is by far, I think, the most difficult part of the dungeon once you get to the last set of trash, because the last set of trash has both the guy that puts the heal absorb on you and the guy that I'm just gonna AoE taunt here to just not have to worry about that. Hold on. But it has both the Ascendant and the Void Stone, which makes it very, very difficult, very, very scary. And if people don't use defensives there, usually they're just gonna eat shit and die. So that's something to keep in mind as a DPS. Hell, as anyone, you should use defensives during that. Tanks, not so much. The AoE damage doesn't do all that. But as a DPS or a healer, definitely use defensives, at least on the last pull. If not, every time you pull a Void Stone and it hits 40% and starts pulsing damage. So once this Ascendant is dead, we're going to jump over to the next Ascendant, because again, the Crushers, they just have a lot of HP. They don't really do much. So you can just ignore them for the most part and keep pulling like they're not there. Again, this is something to consider if you have a class that really wants to stealth, like you have an Assassination Rogue that really wants to do AoE damage and stuff like that. You should take that into consideration and make sure that you pull around them. So you want to finish off the previous pull. If you chain pull, they're not going to be able to stealth. It's not a huge thing. It's not a gigantic deal if you can't let them re-stealth, but it is something to keep in mind. If they're your top DPS, you want to make sure they can you want to make sure that they can re-stealth. Anyway, we're just finishing off this Ascendant. I just let a Void Bolt hit our friend here, so that was a little bit bad. Now we can't really do much here to help the priest heal, or let the priest heal up, because he's disciplined. So what can he do? He can spam Flash of Light and maybe use Penance on a person directly, and that's not what we want. What we want is for the priest to be able to hit things so that he can heal efficiently. I'm going to taunt back the stupid emissary that just decided to go off after a DPS because it didn't have good aggro on it, and we're going to kill it before anything happens. Another Void Extraction goes out, 19 stacks on this one. That is all right. He hits 40% and he starts to do his little channel. Now the jumps going out on top of this AoE damage, again, the jumps just don't do enough damage. Even in a 10, which always has fortified, they don't do all that much damage. So that is something to consider, why you can just keep chain pulling these guys, which is what I'm doing right now. Priest is definitely feeling comfortable. He's not even using the whatchamacallits, pain suppression, so that means that we're not in dire straits with the healing. I also feel like the group has been very safe. I think the priest also recognized, like, oh shit, this tank just takes so much damage, I need to make sure I have an atonement on him or a shield or something and keep him safe, because my dumb ass, I don't know, man, I just take a lot of damage. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna spell reflect it at this guy. 1.2 million damage from the spell reflect. Love to see it. We have a kick available for the next cast. It's a feasting void though, so there's that. 40% about to be reached. We're gonna rally here, try to keep the group a little bit safer, because this guy's about to do a heck a lot of damage. We're going to demolish the emissary. I'm going to shield wall in case I stand in that. Spell reflect is available. We're going to use it. Managed to reflect that back at this guy. We're going to try and kick that void bolt, because if that goes off, somebody might die. Beautiful. Voidstone is almost dead. Now we just got to make sure nobody gets knocked off. Don't get knocked, please. We're just going to type that up and make sure that people don't get knocked off. We're going to stand over here. Beautiful. It already got pulled. I'm not sure by what. Potentially by that consecration on the ground. It's kind of unavoidable. We're going to stand over here. We're going to use this big absorb shield because I wasn't at full health, and we're going to slam the bejesus out of the boss. Now my job on this boss is extremely boring. I've learned recently that the wave does not actually clear anything. I am standing out of range from the priest, but I'm just trying to make sure that nobody gets their face smushed by whatchamacallits, by that wave. Now I could use a little bit of healing here. I don't really know what to do anymore to get my health up. Like, there's only so much I can self-heal, but we have a damage amp going. So we're going to go ahead and start slamming the bejesus out of the boss, trying to reset shield slam, demoralizing shout into a demolish. Maybe I could have gotten an avatar out during that. Probably should have tried to, but I just didn't see that it was almost up. All right, I really need this guy to, like, somebody needs to kill. Hello, emissary needs to die. Come on, range DPS, hit it. There we go. They're hitting it. Beautiful. Get those shield blocks out. Emissary timed out, unfortunately. Will give the big guy a bit of a buff, but we should be fine. Whew, that hurt. I didn't pay attention to when the wave was coming in, but I think I should be okay. I should be in range for the priest to heal me. Everyone is in those, is going to take care of those. I have a shield wall here, should be able to survive this just fine with the shield wall. I'm going to hold my 10 stack demolish for when he gets stunned, which is very soon. I'm also trying to build up more rage for avatar cooldown reduction. All right, shield slam, shield charge I should say, and then do all the damage I possibly can during the added DPS phase. This is a very nice run, honestly. I feel like we did great. Very impressed by the priest's healing. With their item level, I was expecting it to be a little bit bumpy, but then again, I saw they 2-starred a Meadery, which is a Meadery 10, which is no simple task, much more difficult than this. We're going to use our giant absorb trinket, which just came off cooldown just in time for us to be able to use it. So that worked out quite well. I am a little bit low on the rage department, trying to get my thingy back up, but we should be fine. I should probably be using spell reflect for this because of the because of the magic damage being done. Trying to move this over. We're going to go ahead and send all of our damage into the emissary. Now I need to jump over to the side. Whoo, that was a little bit close. Okay, did get smacked by it, but we do kill this thing, so we don't buff the boss. Let's put it that way. I'm going to use spell reflect here and self heal as best I can. I do feel a teeny tiny little bit neglected by the priest, but then again, it's just probably hard for him to actually get all that healing out on me that I require, which is quite a bit, because I have no way to really sustain myself outside of impending victory and maybe a little bit of leech. So yeah, last stand is an option, but it's on cooldown for most of the fight because it's a 3-minute cooldown, and I don't think I have any good CDR for it. We just about reached it. I think I could have done a demolish there to finish it off. That was my bad. I'm not sure if my cooldown was up or not, but we're gonna see. I have 2 charges of shield wall again. I should be safe from these tank busters. Unleash corruption going out. There's a little bit less space here for us to stand in, but I don't think that's an issue. I need to get my shield block back up. We're just about done. There he goes. That's a +10. That is our first 10 on Gutshield, so I'm quite happy with that. That means I can do some... Oh, did I get boots? Oh, they're champion male booth. Whatever, man. I got excited. Loot for me? Oh, the druid said nice thanking. And here we go with a +10 Priory of the Sacred Flame. We've got the group you can see in the bottom right corner. Nobody has actually a 10 Priory timed on these characters. So, yeah... People do have higher rating mains that necessitate them having timed it, so we definitely do have some gamers on our hands here, but we definitely also need to make sure not to slack on our defensives. It doesn't matter who this guy targets, the sharpshooter in the back, because, oh, actually, maybe it does. Hold on, let me just yeet some things at him. There you go. Nope, he's just hitting random people. That's fine. Got to keep my shield block up. Now we have 10 stacks of this. We're going to drop our spear, drop our demolish. Lovely. Managed to put my whole demolish into the fens. Hopefully we get some AoE CC. It does not look like people are going to actually pull those. That's very good. I'm going to try and get closer to the sharpshooter just to make sure that I actually reach him so I can smack him in the face. Very scared that this group gets pulled. If that group gets pulled, there might be some issues here. Now, we seem to have taken care of it quite handily. And grab the sharpshooters and whatnot, and we're going to grab Suleiman over there. Get over here, buddy. All right, I may not have wanted to use that charge. Probably not, just to make sure that I actually can charge back on Suleiman's thing. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to leap back this time because I ain't got the thing. But, now I do have Demolish for the next one when he smacks me backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and use Demolish this time. There's Demolish. Demolish keeps me nice and safe and in the same spot. Love to see it. Emissary is out. We're going to try and put some damage into the Emissary. There's the fens coming in from the footman. Now I can charge back safely after he smacks me backwards. Last time I think my ignore pain was pretty low, so when he shield slammed me it really hurt, but it works out just fine now. We're getting some shield slams that reduce the cooldown on my shield charge, which makes things Very nice for us. Now we have another Demolish available, so we're going to look to demolish him when he does the next shield slam, which is now Demolish. There we go. He has been demolished, and his health bar too. Okay. We got the buff. We're going to go ahead and pull this group and just wait for the ad to spawn in. Oh no. I should have realized that this group needed pulling, but we're going to just wait for Chainmail to show up. We're going to stun this guy because we don't need that circle. That area denial is a bit annoying. We're going to go ahead and just shield slam here and then charge back these. It'll be just fine. Okay. Lunging Strike goes out. People are a little bit stacked, so it ends up with people getting multiple bleeds. So what you want to do is you want to spread out for this as best you can. Even as melee, you want to spread out just so that the lunging strike doesn't actually affect multiple people. Here it only affected the whatchamacallits. What's that thing's name? Warlock. Yes, that thing. That thing. I just don't see them very often, okay? Anyway, Warlock is getting absolutely bullied. He's run out of defensives. Here, intervene would go crazy because it would just give them a DR. Would it though? It's intercepting all attacks, but I don't know if that actually reduces the damage they take. I know that there's a talent in Thunder Mountain. Oh Jesus, I charged in too soon. I know there's a talent in Mountain Thane that actually it gives them magic absorb shield equal to my armor, or to some amount of my armor. I'm gonna wait for these, and I'm just gonna pull them. I'm just gonna pull them, and I'm gonna pull them into this group up here because they're not actually that dangerous. It's just a couple of conjurers that were up to no good. They started making trouble in my neighborhood. See, I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She sent me off to my aunt and uncle in Dalaran. I don't know. I don't know how to make this work for World of Warcraft, but you get the joke, right? Or am I just being really old and assuming people know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I don't know. Well, the World of Warcraft crowd is generally pretty old, so I don't think it's an issue. But yes, I'm usually missing a tiny bit of percent, so grabbing these conjurers feels like the right call. I might just grab some more stuff. We'll see how that ends up working out. The patrol is gone, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this first group down here. All of them, just hit them with heroic throws, then thunderclap this, then walk back over, interrupt this, spell reflect, demolish for aggro, shield charge for shield block, more shield block, and get some CDR because my tier set procced. Beautiful. This feels like it works fine because the patrol is really far away, and we can pull maybe that with patrol. I don't know. I think that might be a bit dangerous. We'll see how it works out. I'm going to go ahead and smack everything with a knockup. Careful with those Divine Storms, Paladin friend. Okay, it works out. Lightspawn is just about to kick the bucket. I think we're good. It's going to start doing that little circle. I think we're okay with that. I'm going to charge in here. I'm going to shield wall, shield block, jump over the neophytes so I don't have to deal with them. And Amia has been pulled. I need someone with a ranged kick to kick her. Somebody with a ranged kick. There we go. Shaman gets the idea. We're going to slam everything here. This is pretty dangerous. People will need to use defensives if they have them available when they get beamed by the thing. Otherwise, we're going to have some issues. But so far, so good. People are playing really, really well. I'm going to go ahead and kick that Holy Smite. I think that's the best thing for me to kick. I'm going to knock everything up. Beautiful. Warlock getting a chance to shine with enough with enough things pulled. Love to see that. Waiting for kicks to go out. The Paladin and I kicked two different things. That's good. We didn't overlap our kicks. Oh no. Lady, please move. Thank you for moving, lady. Oh my goodness. I thought that could be disastrous because that would heal her and that would be a lot of healing done to her. Whew, goodness. Okay. Anyway, now I am kind of just hoping against hope that I do get my my percent done correctly this run because I usually tend to be missing a few percent, and I think by pulling those two conjurers I may have made that work. Now upcoming is a pretty dangerous pull. I don't know if I want to pull that with all that nonsense. We're going to grab Dulmal, kick him, and move over to these guys. Because I don't think I want to pull Dulmal with the patrol. I think pulling Dulmal with the patrol is a mistake. Cinderblast is coming through. I can spell reflect that, but that's alright. People don't know. People don't usually account for spell reflect unless it's being called out to them in voice chat or something. People need to use defensives here, I think, is the right call. We're going to start trying to CC these guys. I'm going to knock them up. No CC works. Am I stupid? Is that like a lieutenant thing? I'm just going to try and Stormbolt, or they're just immune to stuns because it's been a lot of stuns. Okay, Flame Strike goes out, doesn't even finish casting. I think that worked out. Should I take him with that patrol? I think it's super dangerous to take him with that patrol. I'm kind of scared of it, so we're going to play it safe here. I think we have the damage and then some to take care of this without having to pull him into a dangerous patrol. Let me spell reflect or don't. That's fine. We're going to demolish and try to get the hell out of here. I want more shield slams, and then I want a shield charge, and then I want more shield slams. I'm going to get some executes in. I think that's good. Now we have to pull into this patrol. I have to be careful here not to pull those guys. I don't have a spear available, so unfortunately I can't prevent the sharpshooters from moving around, but that's okay. I think we could, if they go into a weird spot, we do have a monk that has been using Ring of Peace to bounce things together. I think that's great. I'm going to drop a demolish onto this. I have a talent of picking when to use demolish exactly when the stupid thing comes out. What's it called? The defense. I should wait for the defense and then use demolish, but my puny little brain, it can't process that kind of decision making. All right. After these somewhat tiny pulls and whatnot, this warlock's just getting bullied. His defensives are always on cooldown and he's constantly taking damage from things. I feel sorry for him. He's probably stressed the fuck out, as well as the healer. All right, we're gonna shield block for this thing. We just got to make sure that we don't take too much damage from the bleed. The bleed is the big thing that I'm worried about. I think I can handle the bleed, and especially with a Mistweaver. No, I don't have a Mistweaver kill. What are you talking about, bro? We do still have a shield wall charge. Next time I'm going to try and use my trinket. I got to keep that ignore pain up, so right now I'm focusing on spending rage on ignore pain as I'm taking a shit ton of damage from all sorts of other things. We're gonna go ahead and use our big absorb shield from our trinket, try and get some shield slams in so I can refresh the other thing. Everyone's kicking, love to see it. Perfect. We have a third target for a revenge to proc stacks of thingy thing of, so that works out quite well. Thank you, Emissary, for joining in and making this a little bit simpler. All right, we have shield charge to use, demoralizing shout as well. I think we're okay. I gotta just focus on maintaining my ignore pain. I luckily have the absorb bar now thanks to my WeakAuras, which if you want, you can get all of these WeakAuras from the DNV community Discord. I do have a shield wall available again. We're gonna use that just to make sure that we're taking a nice smooth income of damage. People are nice and close, which makes it easy to deal with Dalekry's jump onto someone. I love that. That is perfect for us. I don't really know what to use. I guess I'll use Last Stand here just to make this a little bit simpler. Or I think it was our monk friend who got jumped on there, but it looks like we're okay. I'm just using cooldowns on cooldown. By the way, it doesn't really make much of a difference which one of these you prioritize. The health, the damage you do to the other guy. Oof, I'm gonna need some Jesus right now. I have the damn trinket it back up again because its cooldown is reduced every time you take the dot damage. I just want to kill this before we go in there because it's going to be a bit of a messy pull. If we could just kill this, that would be wonderful. Should have built up some rage. All right. This is going to be a bit of a messy one. I need some help here. There we go. We're lusting this pull. I'm okay with that. We're going to drop pretty much everything we can onto it. Beautiful. I'm going to keep moving because these the consecrations keep dropping. I'm going to rally here just to keep us safe because the second sacred toll is something we have to recover for. All right, there we go. Maybe not necessary with Bloodlust running. Maybe I should have saved it for the next pull where there's triple paladin, because there's no efficient way to pull these next groups without having double triple paladins. Double triple paladins sounds like just say 6 paladins, bro. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is I need to pull 3 paladins 2 times, so it's double triple paladin. Double triple paladin sounds fun to say. Double triple paladin, double triple paladin, double triple paladin. Okay, let's do this. Make sure we reapply our thing. This priest's probably gonna have to get kicked. I'm gonna demolish here and make that ignore pain go back up. Need more ignore pain. Need demoralizing shout to help myself survive. Do have 2 stacks of shield wall, but at this point I feel safe. I'm just gonna pop one. Why not? Just pop one. Whatever. Trying to kick the priests, keep them moving so they stay in melee range. The sacred tolls are coming out. Need people to be very healthy here. I'm gonna drop this spear. Spear is gonna be gone before anything happens that might affect us negatively, in the sense of we're not gonna make that spear cause trouble for us. We're gonna go ahead and stormbolt over there, make sure that thing doesn't finish its cast because melee can't quite reach it. Need to keep my shield wall up. Okay, shield block up, not shield wall, whatever. We're gonna go ahead and use demolish again. Big circle here, big shield, or what am I trying to say? Big totem from the shaman. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, next triple paladin might be an issue, but the shaman seems to have it covered. He's doing extremely well. We're pulling these guys, and that's a bit of a problem. Okay, we did get that kick off before this thing went off. We're going to charge over to the other side, and this is going to cause some issues for us here. I may just try to line of sight them, see if they just walk over. Spell reflecting here. I'm also line of sighting all range DPS, so that's not great. But I think they're all stacked up now well enough for me to just demolish. I don't have rally just yet. I need ignore pain up. I think that's this is a my bad kind of issue. People did release. It was just the big guy, the warlock, that went and got his butt whooped. Kick by Rizzledin. Love to see that. Is that like supposed to be Riz or something? I'm gonna just CC everything and we're gonna switch over to this. I may have overpulled. I should have probably given my healer some time to actually deal with that. Emissary being touched to death. I don't know. I don't know how to say that. Bit of a mismanagement on my part. I think this is probably the worst I've played so far in this dungeon, but I think it's doable. We're gonna spell reflect. Hopefully, I need to get out of this consecration. I do have rally. We're gonna just use rally here. Sacred toll is coming up. I want to keep people just a little bit beefier. We're gonna kick this thing. Somebody else kicks the priest. There we go. That was. I'm just gonna apologize to my group. I'm gonna say sorry because that was just crazy stupid by me to pull it like that. I think I just overpulled and it didn't work out. These divine tolls or sacred tolls or whatever you want to call it from the paladins are crazy. That was a shit pull. Sorry. I'm gonna apologize to the group for that mismanagement, but we're gonna make it work. It's not a huge time loss. We literally only had one death, but it was incredibly hard for the healer to heal, and I recognize that, and I don't want to minimize the fact that the healer had to really struggle through that one because of me. I'm just gonna yeet myself over there. No reason to stand close to those hammers. Just gonna be using heroic leap every time to do that. I don't have to move just yet. I can wait for these hammers to just screw off. The shield bugs out, doesn't go off. We're just gonna take one and take two, and I'm not taking a third because I just don't want to. I'm gonna use a shield block to mitigate most of that damage. And since I'm taking dot damage, I should be using my trinket because dot damage actually reduces the cooldown of that trinket. But me eating two of those is quite nice. Now let's leap out again. I do turn my back here for a second, but one auto attack at my full health and ignore pain is not really going to do much. Sacrificial pyre going down. A little bit wonky here. Could use a paladin. Bubble it. I said bubble it, but the paladin's not running in to bubble it. I guess everyone has to take a charge here. We should have bubbled it because it's 5 charges, and then the paladin, if he bubbles it and runs in and out constantly, he just takes care of all 5 without getting the dot, and that's a lot better than everyone getting the dot and the healer having to heal a whole shit ton. I'm not getting great uptime here. Okay, well, the paladin just took the 3-star one and took care of that. I'm going to really hope that I don't die here. Okay, I managed to get out. That was very slow. I didn't have a leap to get out of that because I used that to move around. Now we are finally stacked. The ranged are on top of us, so we can choose where to go very easily. And what I mean by that is the circles from the hammers or whatever are going to be very easy to deal with. Hammer of Purity, they're all kind of stacked up. We're going to charge over here. Perfect. I charge right next to the Sacrificial Pyre. I'm going to eat one of those. I'm going to eat 2 of those. And my big... Oh, that's a lot of these guys. We're going to go ahead and use our rallying cry because our shaman probably has to heal while moving here. Not an issue for a shaman if he has Spirit Walker's Grace, but he may have used it earlier from the other shields. All right.
5, 4...
What?
3,
what?
2,
what's
1.
what? Oh, was that a countdown to his death? I think it was a countdown to the little thing you have to absorb with the group. That's what the countdown was, because sometimes when people immune the dot, you don't I don't know, the dungeon boss mods or thing or whatever, bigwigs, that's what I'm trying to think of. It doesn't register the fact that you've actually soaked it, so there's that. Could use some ranged kick on those guys in the background. Beautiful. They got stunned, so they're probably going to recast. They got stunned again by the warlock this time. They are recasting, but I don't think it's an issue. I'm going to kick the heal. I don't want the heal to go through. So far managing to take care of all of it. They're kind of dead before anything else happens. I'm trying to keep things inside of the what's it called, rain of fire. It's like this, so I should probably try and keep them within it. Nice. Okay, sacred tolls going out. Healer handles it like a champion. Absolutely, like anyone who can heal these paladin mobs, I feel I'm very impressed by, because they do a lot of damage very frequently. All right, let's take care of the emissary, take care of the paladin, and then we could go upstairs. I think that's okay. I'm just going to start going because the paladin's going to die on the way, and we don't even have to worry about the sacred toll. I'm going to ping here just so people know that that's where I'm pulling things. All right, we're going to charge into this and taunt these guys. I don't have to do much else. I'm going to let the spell reflect go through, and then I'm going to stand over here and wait for these guys to group up. All right, we're gonna stun everything just to make sure they don't start casting at us weirdly. I'm gonna kick the fireball volley. I don't want anything else to go off. Sacred toll going through. I need a taunt on this guy. Shield charge is available, so I'm going to use it, especially with my tier set just procced. We're going to use Demoralizing Shout and Thunderous Roar. There we go. Looking pretty good. 13 minutes and 10 seconds remaining for the last room and last boss. I feel like that is okay. I'm going to charge over and kick that, and then I'm going to head back over. I'm sort of dragging these guys into shit, but I can't really do much other than hope that somebody else also handles that. Purification coming through. Paladin is out of options as far as defensives are concerned, so he kind of just has to hope that the healer can keep him alive. Trying to keep things away from that circle so they don't get healed by the big thing. I think I failed to do so properly. I'm trying to avoid the stairs as best I can because any sort of circles on stairs are extremely wonky. So that's why I've been like dancing up here instead of just going down the stairs, because again, stairs are a death trap. If there's any sort of swirlies, you don't want to deal with stairs. All right, the patrol is coming close to us over here. I am very scared of pulling the patrol because I think it's a death trap if I pull the patrol along with this, because there's two of these beamers and the beamers are freaking rough, man. So I'm just going to keep it safe here. I'll pull the patrol separately if I can and keep things nice and safe for us. I am going to demolish the Risen Mage, try and get that thing killed off before it does anything else. Now I feel with the light spawn almost dead, hopefully dead. No, it's going to cast one more purification, which the our friend the warlock recognizes and tries to use something, and we managed to kill it. I'm just waiting for patrol. I'm going to ping this thing. Hopefully the paladin uses it for whoever needs it. I still have it because I miraculously haven't died, so that's really nice. I'm going to stun them, unfortunately preventing some of the knockback that the whatchamacallit, our guy did, the monk. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Our guy did. The warlock gets a kick in. Beautiful. Again, the light spawn is the most dangerous part of this, along with the mages doing the AoE. But our group seems to be handling the AoE kicks just fine. It's just the fireballs going out, which are a bit of an issue. We're going to CC things. Paladin uses a defensive when being beamed. That is the right call. We're trying to get some damage onto the, the affix. I need my shield block back up. We have shield charge back up, and we have more shield slams to recover the cooldown of that shield charge. Another purification is going to go out. The poor warlock's just getting bullied at this point, and this thing's going to put up its circle. Now, I'm going to just start pulling this right away. These guys are trying to heal the light spawn. The light spawn's dead, so you guys go ahead and do that. I need to make sure I live this and that I'm not a burden to my healer right now. Healer has to heal the group. Tank has to take care of himself. Brawn Pike does this crusading strike thing or whatever the hell it is, and that will hurt the tank quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my defensives for that as best I can. We're trying to reduce the number of smites going out. I should have stunned them or knocked them up or whatever you want to call it when you have this thing. I'm going to go ahead and just use my big trinket, because these ticks of this dot will actually reduce the cooldown of the trinket. I don't feel like there's a reason for me to pull more than just Brawn Pike right now, and I also need to actually manage my health a little bit better here. I'm burdening, oh excuse me, that was a burp coming out. I'm burdening the healer right now, and that's not something I want to do. Okay, we've recovered. Brawn Pike is dead. We can now pull all of this, and I'm gonna hope that our group kicks the priest back there. There we go. It says spell reflect, but it's not targeting me, so I don't know why it's telling me spell reflect. All right, we're gonna get them into this circle. Oh no, monk, no. You moved them out of the ring. Rain of fire, no. That's all right. I think the warlock's kind of used to it. Usually if it's not the tank moving things like me, It's the it's the group that somehow finds a way to make your Rain of Fire useless. But that being said, our Warlock friend is absolutely blasting it. All of these footmen dying at the same time is not going to feel great though, so I'm going to use Spell Reflect here so I reduce the incoming damage. I'm going to stop dealing damage just so things don't die all at the same time, giving our Shaman friend time to heal us up. Okay, last guy dies a little bit after healing. We're going to wait. We're just going to just chill. Let's grab this affix. There we go. Giving our Warlock time to set up that gate. Beautiful. He knows how to do it. We're going to kill this, and then we're going to go into the last boss. There we go. It also gave our Shaman some time to heal the group up before nonsense started happening. All right. We do have Demoralizing Shout and Demolish both available, so we're going to go ahead and use those while we still have Avatar. Perfect. Now a beam is going to start going down at the same time as Blinding Light. It is on Disson. We're going to turn around and nobody has to deal with that. Now we're going to step away a little bit from that beam trace that was left on the ground. Spell Reflect. Oh no, I got ganked. I really wanted to Spell Reflect that, but it's okay. Maybe I can get this one. No, I can't get it. My little WeakAuras that I made that tells people that Spell Reflect is up apparently is just absolutely useless. Nobody gives a shit. But they don't focus on that, right? It's how often do you play with a tank that is asking you to not kick things because you have Spell Reflect. We're gonna rally here because our friend got blinded while he was kiting the beam, and that's not good. Okay, Spell Reflect is just not gonna be a thing then. My friend stood on top of that. We do have a CR available. Our Paladin just needs to actually press it. CR Paladin just press CR. Jesus Christ, somebody had to use the jumper cables because our Paladin is just being a little silly. Okay, our Paladin getting beamed. Oh no, is the DK. Take the CR, brother man. Okay, he took it. I'm gonna leap over here, jump up here. I don't know if that was effective or not, but it looked cool as shit. All right, we need all the damage we can get into this shield. There's a bunch of neophytes over here. We're going to spear them down so they can't do shit. We're going to stun these guys, knock them up, keep them the hell away from us. Blinding lights coming through, everything coming through. All right, there we go. Our monk manages to live it, even though he got punched in the face by that. Spell Reflect going up. Monk really doesn't want to let me get a single Spell Reflect in. That's just no. None for you. None. But that's good. Get more kicks in, guys. Kick as often as you can. There is no bad kick. Everything hurts. Turn around and we good. Now it's literally just a race to the finish line. Just kill this before it kills us, which I don't think it can kill us. I think our Shaman friend is a little bit too good at that. They're also too good at kicking things. Just one spell. That's all I ask for. One Spell Reflect. Just one Spell Reflect. It's not much. But hey, I'm just glad I'm not always top interrupts. Look at the number of interrupts we've done this run. This is insane. Absolutely insane. The entire group has been blasting it on the interrupts, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy that. Spell Reflect? Nope. The monk just does not. It refuses to go into that good night. 0.5%. It's not GG. I can't even jump down. I want to kill this thing before it buffs up the next thing we pull. There we go. I can't use that, so I'm just going to heroic leap down. And we're going to go ahead and focus this priest. Okay, they want to pull this group left. Sure. Can we pull that without pulling that group? I think we can. Kill the priest and we should be okay. Priest gives 0.6%, 0.62. Let's blast the bejesus out of him and get this timed. Stormbolt that. It's fine. Just kill the priest, demolish him, whatever. Spear, everything. Just hit him, fire everything. Leap back, use this to get back up there. That was a fun run. Yeah, I overpulled. One of the pulls was too much for our healer, the handle, and our warlock friend went down. No loot for yours truly, but did anybody get the trinket? Nope. We got these. Actually, that ring looks, never mind, it's mastery, not crit. If it was crit instead of mastery, I would have liked that ring. Anyway, but friends, that for yours truly is 2.5k rating, 2,531 actually. From this last thing, we got 38 rating. That's amazing. That's enough jibber jabber. This is the end of the Prot Warrior series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more series coming. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy this series is over so I don't have to look at this meme anymore. Look at him with the anal beads around the neck.